Welcome in, builders. We should be live with Soviet Republic. Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Very cool game. It's one of those ones where I think I have about 300 hours played and I feel like I know nothing, Jon Snow. Uh, Very in-depth builder. Has, right from the get-go, soared to the top of my favorite builders. I think in different ways. For me, this is right up there with Against the Storm, if that puts into context how much I respect this game. And I'm super excited that today is release day. It has come out in the 1.0 version. They had a pretty smooth development period, although they had an incident with a crazy person caused them to get taken off of Steam for a while, and that was absolutely nuts. But we're back, we're good. We have a... not going to use it today, but I did purchase it just to support the devs. There is a DLC that adds new biomes that add other things to overcome. We're just going to be playing on, I guess you'd say, vanilla map today. I have one rolled up. I tend to re-roll maps a little bit till I find something that it interests me and I think is playable. So we have one that's got some challenges for sure, but should be interesting. I see Vance was in here earlier. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. And Papega Sit, welcome. Very excited to see this game 1.0, holding off for myself, EA. Yeah, this is one of those ones, man. I was, the other night, just playing a little bit to kind of refamiliarize myself, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play like an hour, and I got to get to bed. And then I looked at the clock, and it was like 3 a.m., and I was like, crap. Oh, man. So it is one that you definitely can lose yourself in. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush here too much. I do have something I need to do this afternoon, so we're going to go for about 3 hours or so, and then I will have to call it. Because trust me, I'm not going to want to call it. I will warn people, this is a game that is a slow burn. This is not, and I'm going to play in realism mode. And I'll explain what that is in a second. But this is not a Sim City where you just kind of paint some stuff on the map and everything just magically happens. This is we have to go get bricks, Peter, to build the wall. So we have to transport the bricks. We have to store the bricks. We have to get people to use the bricks. Maybe we need a crane. This is a very in-depth game. And I'll be the first to admit I do not consider myself an expert. I know enough to be dangerous. So I did on my practice game have 0 escapes after I think I played for about 3 years. So that probably tells me I'm at least not going to make a fool of myself live, hopefully. All right, I'm going to show the settings I use to roll up this map, and then we will load into the map that I have already made. So I like to play on the random map. You can see in here they have these new ones, Asian map. They have the Arabic map and the Siberian map. These are from the new DLC biomes. So, like, in the Arabic map, water's a problem, wood is a big problem. The Siberian map, it's up in the tundra, it's very, very cold. You're gonna have a long, long snow season. And on the Asian map, it's heavily, heavily forested, and you have, like, monsoon levels of rain, which cause problems with your road systems and transporting things around. Alright, so in random map, what I usually like to do is I click it over to realistic mode. I do not like playing with population already on the map. I won't go into why, but I like to bring in my own people. I'm not good enough to play full realistic, so I'm going to give myself medium money, which gives us some more starting cash. They've added earthquakes since I played. I'm just not ready for it, so I'm just going to turn off the earthquakes. Otherwise, we'll have normal global events, so we'll have market changes, we'll have epidemics, etc., etc. I'm not sure on this one. I don't mind night. I think it looks very pretty, and they have lightened it up so it's not quite so pitch black like it used to be. I'm pretty sure I can change that in game. I hope I can. Otherwise, for YouTube purposes, I might need to switch it over to always day. This actually is modeled, so like at night, your people use more electricity and water because they're at home. And there are, like, solar power plants don't work at night. And I believe this also might affect the wind. So this is actually a pretty big decision. But if it's hard to see at night on YouTube, I will just switch it to always day because YouTube videos that you can't see suck. So that'll be the case there. Other options that I find interesting, they've added 1960 since I was playing heavily. So I'm just going to start earlier. Why does that matter? Inflation. Inflation is a killer in this game, especially on the ruble. It gets horrible. And the longer you play, the worse it will get. So this will increase that difficulty later on. And the other big one is vehicle availability. So vehicles came out in certain years, right? And you can change the availability. So you can just say all, just have all vehicles all the time. I'm not going to do that. You can lock it according to year. So when the vehicle comes out, we can start buying it, and it will never go away. Or you can lock according to year, which means that like when they stop producing the vehicle, we would no longer be able to purchase it. I believe if we got that far, you could make your own, but I've never actually done vehicles, so I can't say that for certain. I think we're just gonna lock according to year and not let them expire. Maybe if we play a second time, I will change that. I always kind of go back and forth on that one. And for map generation, I usually leave this alone, and I increase the tree density and the forest density, maybe 10%, 20%, just to add a little more visual interest to the map, in my opinion. So those are the settings that were used to roll up the map. We are going to do the People's Great Republic here, just my save game name, and let that load on in. Takes me about a year in game just to set up the first house. Yeah, yeah, like I said, this is going to be a slow burn, so I will be very happy if in 3 hours we'll probably be able to get something started. A few buildings, but I highly doubt we'll get people in here. Okay, so this is the map that was rolled up. It's got the 2 rivers that we had. You can see it's kind of got, I would call these like pothole lakes. I don't know what they would be called over in Europe. We have like a combine where the river comes together. Maybe it's a little smaller. I thought this was kind of interesting. We've got this like larger spot in the river right here and right here. Might be a good place to put some ships in, and we can use that to get some of our bulk stuff in and out. For me, I tend to like to start up here in the top left corner. The red dotted line indicates these are borders that we share with Soviet states, and the blue dotted line indicate that that is a border we share with NATO states. Why does that matter? We have different cash. So I got a small personal loan of 4.7 million rubles and $1.6 million. So if I want to buy something from NATO, they only accept dollars. If I want to buy something from the Soviet states, they only accept rubles. And inflation will be different on the 2 currencies. NATO will inflate far less. Ruble will inflate pretty heavily. So there's lots of considerations there, like storing your money in dollars protects it more from inflation than rubles. And the availability of goods are different. So NATO has better tractors in the 1970s start. I don't know what it is in the 60s start. But maybe you want the better tractors, so you need to buy them from NATO. I believe they used to also only have the only cement cargo car for trains. I don't know if that's still the case, but that was another reason you needed to have some NATO connections if you wanted to use that. At our border crossings, they look like this. You always will have a road connection, and different size border crossings, custom houses, have different amounts of connections. Sometimes you will have rail connections between 1 and 3, and we also can have power connections. This is very important because we need to import power before we can get a power plant built, and that's a long, long ways away. So I think it's almost a requirement that you would want to start next to a power connector. You obviously need to start next to a customs if you're playing in realism mode, because we're going to have to haul in our materials from here. And rail can be really important. What will happen at your custom houses, I'll just throw some dirt road here. What will happen in your custom house is traffic will back up, because they can only have so many vehicles in here at a time. And this is a small custom, or no, excuse me, this is a medium custom house, but you can see there's only so many parking bays. So if we have 3 trucks in here filling up, everyone else who's here to get something has to wait. Another one, which is a little complaint of mine, the way the traffic works here, you may only have 1 vehicle moving at a time. So if we have slow, big haulers, they're going to creep their way out, and that whole time, the people in this lane politely wait for him to get out of the way. So traffic's going to be a major issue, and one of the weaknesses of this map that I've picked here is this is only a medium, and we've only got one rail connection. We have to cross the river to get to NATO. So we're either going to have to fill in this, which would mean we couldn't use ships, or we're going to have to bridge it, which will be a big project. So NATO is out for the foreseeable future. Our next Soviet connection is all the way over here. It's a large customs. This is where I'd prefer to start generally, but I don't like the area here. I don't have a lot of building room. I'm kind of like cornered up. And if I built down here, I would block all these rail connections. And this is going to be our main early export-import spot once we can get here. So this is going to be super duper important, but we do at least have a single rail line to start with. To me, what that's telling me is I want to use rail distribution centers, not that one, this one. That is basically a rail depot that has trains and cars, and they send out the cars like at a as-needed basis. So rather than scheduling a train, hey, every day you're going to go pick this up and then you're going to take it to the border, this will say, hey, the board factory's full, go send a train to pick stuff up and go sell it. And they'll send it a la carte to each individual need. So the problem is we need to research that. So we are going to have to build, I believe this one comes from the party headquarters to research this building. We won't be able to start with it, which is way different. Normally I go down the technical university route for various reasons, but I foresee in the very near future this is going to be pure misery. This is going to cause major, major problems with traffic. So that is the solution that I can do to try to alleviate that a little bit. Otherwise, in realism mode, you don't have a full geological study, so I can't just click on coal and it'll show me where all my coal is. Now, there is a trick you can do to kind of like scout, I'll call it. So this would be our coal mine, and the little dots show how much of the resource are in the area. Green, good, yellow, okay, red, nothing. So you can actually take this and you can just zoom around like this, looking for spots. Like right now my quality source is 0, so there's no coal in anywhere here. And you could do this for the whole map if you wanted to. And like over here, I can see there is some coal. So the dots change and the quality of my source is now, it's in like the 50s. Pretty bad on this side. So we do have a little bit of coal right here if we wanted to go that route. This would be pretty bad. 50% source isn't the best. Other resources I know we have these stone pits, so we can use these to quarry stone and turn that into gravel. We can use the gravel for various things, and we can turn it into concrete. So that might be an industry we could use. The thing about concrete and gravel is that's a very, very high volume material. If I wanted to try to use that and export it, I would need trains. I would spend more fuel carrying the resource from there to here to sell it than it would probably earn me. I would need to have a train to do this. But even with that, with a single connection, that would clog us up pretty bad. So my kind of idea here is we'll get this rail out this way so it can pick this stuff up, and then we'll circle down and around and we'll end up over here. So this will kind of be our starting area. We'll have some industrial stuff, and we'll probably get here first, but then this will turn into like second city there or over here maybe. I don't know. I'm not really that far in my head yet. Other thing you can check for in the beginning is oil wells. Same plan. You can just kind of zoom around. I did kind of check this when I was looking at the map. I don't think we have anything kind of where I want to build the city. Generally speaking, I wouldn't want to have pump jacks in my city. They're going to cause pollution, which will hurt people's health. So glad that there's nothing here to tempt me. I'm not going to preview the whole map, but that's a way you can do it. Okay, I think that's kind of the preview here. Oh, I missed you, I turn right. Welcome in, men. That's kind of the preview of my thoughts. So this does have the bare minimums. It has a road connection, it has a rail connection, and we do have some power. I think first thing I need to do is I need to decide where this rail is going to go. One of the things about realism mode, if I make a mistake and we build, let's say it's not dirt, let's say this is like a highway I build, and oh shoot, no, I need my rail to go past here. I would have to, you could do road crossings, like that's a thing that exists, if I could get it to go, but I would have to do demolitions. and then I would have to haul away the waste. So it's really, really important, especially at the beginning when I just don't have any of that infrastructure, that we don't make big mistakes like that. So I need to figure out where exactly the rail is going to go. And one thing I know is, as previously mentioned, for this connection, I think I'm going to try to rush to a rail distribution office. The station length is 155 meters. That means the longest train that I can use from here is 155. So I need to have this set up to accept trains of, I'll probably make it slightly longer, but about 155 meters long. So we need to etch out how that's going to look here, and then we need to decide where it's going to go. So as I mentioned, I think we're going out this way and then down. Alternatively, we might go that way and then have a split here, so that we can turn and go up this way, so that we can end up at the NATO border. We could go here. We could raise this train a little bit so it's not so marshy and send the train up that way. That could work, but the problem with that is I'm going to have rails going through my city, and that's going to cause traffic issues. As somebody who lives in a town that has rail that goes through it, it sucks. You better not get caught by that train on your way to work. So I think I'm going to avoid going that way. We may have the road connection snake in there. That'd be fine. But I think for the rail, it's going to have to go all the way over here. Yeah, there's just no avoiding that rail bridge at some point. Or there's a bigger one over here that maybe we could go that way. So either way, I think I need the rail to head towards here. And I think we're going to do it via this area. So we'll come out here. One will go down to that connection, and one will go up to that NATO connection. Clouds in the way here. Just before I really dig in here, these maps are ginormous. If you play builders and you don't like small maps, like, let's get something here for scale. Here is a medium flat. This is a quite large block housing. So look at it next to a tree. And we are just going to zoom out and out and out. This is that giant house. And we can do all of this map. It is humongous. I believe the distance is 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers. I could be incorrect about that, but I mean, it is ginormous. It is huge. Travel time will be an issue. Hauling things will be an issue. So, very, very cool scale. Alright, let's go ahead and get dug in here. As previously mentioned, we need to do this rail stuff first. So, 155, 200 is the number that just kind of pops in my head as liking. I always forget. So, when our rail gets here, our train's going to pull into the station, and somehow, automatically, it turns around. So, like, it'll come in here, it'll unload, and then, boop, it'll turn 90 degrees and be able to come out. Just pretend there's a turnaround back here. But that also means that the butt hangs out. And I need to have enough distance that we don't cross our switch and block trains. So, I think I'm going to give myself a full 200 here. That is quite far. Maybe not. Maybe we do 160. And we just be really careful we don't send larger trains here at some point. And let's also angle this away from the road a little bit. I hate that already because I hate crooked things. But if I don't do that, we're going to have issues with this road and getting out. So I want to give myself a little space. Okay, so that's 160. So that's plenty of room to get in there, magically turn around, and then come out. Okay, so from there, give myself at least, let's say 170 for the next little stretch here. It gives me a little bit of work room. And I really don't want to go ahead of, I'm just going to mark this. That's the spot I don't want to go ahead of. So from there, we're going to branch off, and this will be our exit. That. All right. So we drive right because that's the correct side of things to drive on. And so our train will come in this way, it'll unload, whoop, it'll turn around, and then it will come out, and we'll make it go onto the second track. I almost always use 2-track systems. single rail is fine when you first have a train. The second you add a second train, you're in for misery. You're in for pure misery. Don't do it. So that's going to be the case there. And then on this side, just to remind myself, I'm going to have a couple... Oh, why is that? Why is that doing that? That looks horrible. No, don't do that. Come back. No, don't do that. There must be... No, that's pretty flat. I want this to come out and reconnect. There we go. That's not so bad, but that's a little close. We're going to have a couple lanes here. I guess we're only going to use a distribution office, so it's not going to be too crazy traffic. But I do want, let's 2. We'll say 2 extra lanes, just in case. Can I connect there? Nope. No. Those are too close. And this, I always find this part a little tedious because I'd rather be working on the city, but this is so important. Every time I get frustrated and I just like, forget it, I'll do it later, horrible things happen. Oh, now you want to connect all pretty and nice, huh? Alright, how short can we make you? We have to pay for all this, so having big, long things are expensive. So we'll do that, and then this one will connect like that. Alright, then we have to make sure that you... Already lost my measurement there. Let me get out my measurement tape. Alright, we said that we wanted this to be 160 to 170. Okay, that's 170 right there. Yeah. Alright, main line first. You second. And then tape measure, move you to like right there. Just make sure we get our 170. Okay, that'll be perfectly fine. Okay. And then this is the exit lane. Then all we need to do on this one is branch these out. So you would connect. And then from here, you connect. I think we can connect that a little smoother. I don't want a weird jank. There we go. Okay, so train will come in here. It has 3 parking lanes. It can get its stuff and then get out. That's what I needed to see. So now we know that we cannot build anything over here. And you can already see on the scale of things why this is so important. Like, this is a big thing kind of right in the middle of where we're going to be building. So having that planned out saves me from having an oops. Alright, I think I will go ahead and just rough in. This may not be our exact route. My topography lines, yeah. I don't want to climb the hill with a train, so I think we'll cut this way. So how steep do I want to make this? I mean, ideally, we wouldn't go up that incline too much. So maybe we would stay off that topography line. Alright, and this is going to be the outside line. And with the mouse wheel, we can change the angle so we make that not so sharp. There we go. And you... So there. Okay, I don't hate that. And somewhere along this line, we will have our rail distribution center, probably relatively close to here, because most of their trips are going to be in to pick stuff up. So I may build that even just like right here, or maybe on the other side of the tracks. So it's going to be quite a lot of stuff there. And then we may even have a depot here to unload stuff. Because as mentioned, this city is going to choke to death on this single lane entry. So I may have to do rail far earlier than I normally would like to do so. Alright, for now I think that's okay. Let me just stretch this a smidgen. Nope. A smidgen further, just so I have it on screen if I go over and start looking at the gravel. Okay, so the white shows that it is planned. We open up our construction options here. while I'm here, let's change max number of workers that aren't sent there on purpose. I'm going to put those at 0 for now. That can mess me up later on. And we can click here to start construction of planned infrastructure. We don't have anything to build this, but that'll just make sure I don't accidentally delete something or whatnot. Oh, except for you. We don't want you. Okay, that is a big chore out of the way. Now we can start looking at our actual start. Alright, so I want to come straight out here. Okay, can I do what I want though? What I'd like to do... Can I get another road out of here? No, not really. I think that rail's just too close to be able to wiggle somebody out. Okay, so we are truly going to be single lane here. Sometimes what I like to do is you can have a piece come out like this and take out this middle piece, and so we can kind of have like, we'd make this one way in and then one way out, and that gives us a little more queuing space, but that's not going to fit here. So we are going to have so many traffic issues here. That is going to be a thing. Okay, that kind of informs one of my early build decisions. I think we're going to have to build a gravel pit somewhere and haul gravel in with really, really big trucks so that we have large volumes but small amount of traffic. Normally I wouldn't want to build one of these right away, but I think that's going to be a requirement. Okay. Man, that's a little on the annoying side. So that means we may have to do a little more rail planning because I want to connect that in with that infrastructure. Alright, let's take this road out further. I will try my darndest to make things relatively straight. However, in Soviet Republic, sometimes things are off by 1 degree, you know? Peter had a bad day when he was planning it. So it will/may happen. Okay, so I'm still thinking main city is going to start here. We got lots and lots of room, so don't have to worry anything about that. Okay, so if that's the case, maybe we do need an early rail construction office planned. So like rail construction here, we'd have the distribution office on the other side, and then maybe that unloading depot I was considering will go in right here. And then we can use that to bring supplies into the city. Kind of like that idea. Yeah. Alright, so I need to plan out... I was hoping to avoid this, but I think this is going to be the case, because I'm really worried about the traffic we're going to have there. We need to look at our rail construction office. That is this guy right here. So what these mean on the building is the road symbol is a road connection. Most buildings require that you have that, but not all. The white rail symbols are rail connections, so we are going to have this so that trains can get in and out. The yellow arrows indicate factory connections, so that's like moving things with forklifts, supplies in and out, etc. The blue, I don't know what you would call that. The blue pointy arrow piece is a conveyor belt. So in this case, we're going to want a conveyor belt that supplies gravel. We use a lot of gravel in construction here. And the blue arrow with the people is footpaths, so for workers to walk in. They also can walk in via the road. So, why do I say all that? Because I want to set this up so we can have a gravel storage nearby. And we are going to use the gravel storage both to build the city and for this place. Alright, so I'm going to place this somewhere in this neighborhood, so we need to get some rail out. Now, how close do I want to be to this? Let's measure. Measurement tool. Clear the current ones. Alright, so from here, I want at least 170 meters. Okay, we've got plenty of room. Let's call it like 200. Okay, so anywhere back here would be fine. And we'll start with this guy. Alright, how sharp of a turn can I get out? Something like that. And then this probably won't be where it goes, but I just want to see where it's pointing me. Something like that. Alright. Then I want my rail construction office. I've got to connect to those. T mirrors the building that you currently have selected, so we're going to mirror it like this. I don't hate that. Somewhere in this neighborhood, I think. Although, I'm not sure that leaves enough room for my storage. Maybe we pull back a little more? Yeah, let's pull back a little more. Let's come off of this side. If you hold control, it'll hide that little pop-up menu. I should look and see if there's an option to hide that by default. It is useful, but it's constantly in your way. Alright, I'm thinking... Let's try there. Alright, that means we want to back this connection up a little bit. Can we get you in nicely? Yes. Alright, then come out this side. And then I want to just do the same thing. I really want this like as sharp as possible, just to save room. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so we're right-hand drive, right? So a train's coming down, choo-choo. Oh, I need to get into the depot. Okay, I take this route, and I'm in here. Okay, I whatever. I'm ready to leave, so I come out this way, and I go over here, and I can go that way. How do you get on the other side? We're going to have to do a crossover. So we will do this. These are very important for a situation like this. Like, we have to get our builders out of the depot, and they have to build the opposing lane. But if you start using these constantly, and you let trains use them to like pass each other, I tend to find that you end up with more and more traffic issues than you bargain for. So this is not going to be a spot that I allow many things to use. But for here, I will allow it. Another thing this also could do, we could add a refueling station with a similar design to this on the other side. No, we don't need it. Why do we not need it? We're going to use a depot. Depots have internal fuel. We would need a refueling station if we were using independent lines, which we're not going to do yet. So I don't need that. Let's take this out. Make sure you have adequate storage buffers for all your goods your town will need. Yes, yes. I haven't played with trash too much, but I did do a little bit, so I have looked at that. Vance says, what's the gameplay loop? Are there natural disasters or events you have to deal with? I turned off the earthquakes. That's kind of the really, really big one. The gameplay loop is basically building up your internal production capabilities. It is really about workers and resources. So we need to keep our people happy enough that they don't escape. They're going to try to leave our glorious republic for some weird reason and go somewhere better, or die. Another big one is we need to stay afloat. Once you start taking big loans, it can debt spiral quite quickly. So it is an open-ended, like there's no victory condition. The gameplay loop is basically expand our production. For me, I like to try to become independent, that I don't rely on external imports to be able to produce. So at the beginning, we're going to have to import everything. Food, chemicals, construction supplies, people, everything has to come from outside. But we want to be a strong, independent Soviet republic that don't need no overlord. And so we're going to try to build as much as we can internally. And that's going to be a long process. It's probably going to take me 20 more minutes to get this rail depot built. Just to put that in perspective. So it will be a long ways out. In traditional fashion, once this is all done, we'll probably get started on some of the construction here. We're probably looking at a year 2 or 3 before we invite in our people. And then we will build our first industry. We'll probably build clothes. That's kind of a classic. We can import the stuff to build them. We'll build clothes, and then we'll export them. Okay, so we have the rail construction office down. I did all that planning because I want to be able to store gravel. Now, there's different sizes here. This is a small one. So we have 2 conveyor belt ins, and we have several options for outs. Something like this could work. Again, like, I could make this conveyor much longer, but I have to pay for that. Like, that's a lot of steel, so I want to make this pretty short. Yeah, something like that. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to truck in our gravel. One thing that later on, when I'm super rich and we're building other places, we might build a train unloading station, and we could bring our gravel in via train. However, we need trains before we can use trains, so we're bootstrapping from square one here. Alright, so this is going to be our gravel. By truck, we're going to have to haul gravel in here. This is a long distance, but I want to combo the use here that we can use the same depot to build our rail. And another thing we're going to need is a truck aggregate loading station. This will, rather than having to drive in here and load via like shovel, this will allow us to have a conveyor that loads trucks with gravel. And this will make our construction much quicker as we're able to do that. Now, sometimes the traffic backs up pretty bad on these, so I want to give these a long, I think they call them throats, basically like a long driveway that trucks can queue up in. Turn our, there we go. Alright, and then we'll have this connect. Do I want that? Yeah, I probably do want the really long. That's like 4 or 5 trucks queuing up. That should be plenty. Alright, then we also need a road here. I'd like to connect to this. The more connections you have on your road, the harder it is to upgrade. I'll show you why later, but this way we only have one connection into the main road, and we can put a stop sign here to keep traffic from getting in the way. Okay, so that is how we get gravel in, that's how we get gravel back out to our trucks, that's how we get gravel into here. Now, one of the things I saw, if we're going to do all of this hubbub, maybe we could do some storage here for other things. We could do an open storage, probably need the larger ones. We could do an open storage here. And this does have rail connections too. Or alternatively, I would really like that. If we had a factory connection here, then we have to get boards, we have to get steel, we have to get bricks. Rather than having to truck those in later on, we could just bring them in via train, which is probably how I'd like to bring in stuff. Let's just do it and let's just see what it looks like. So that would be there. And if I'm going to go that far, I think I've already committed to a cargo station of some sort. How could we do this? So you would need to be able to get in and out. So you'd be like over here somewhere. That's probably too far. We're definitely not going to be able to get that to connect. Let's do it way over here. Okay, there's a spot. Lost it. I don't love that. I think if we're gonna go through that much hubbub, we might as well just move it over here. Alright, would that allow me to get roads? Yes. Okay, so we'd have a train come in from this side here. And the reason I would want the cargo station is we could stop here and use the factory connection to move supplies. So this will be boards, bricks, steel, prefab panels. And if we have this anyways, then we could hook a warehouse up to that. This may be becoming a very large industrial complex very quickly. Okay, we need something bigger than that. How much does this store? 520 tons of something. 320. 500. 800. repair. Got to make sure I leave plenty of room for the rail to get in and out. But if we did something like that... I wonder, could we fit our clothing factories to use this same place? No, probably not if I angle it like that. I think I could do that though. Let's get rid of this. I want to be very like cramped and efficient on this first area. I normally don't like building like this, but this is expensive, what we're planning here. So I want to try to like double duty everything that we possibly can. All right, you maybe just go back to this one. This one has a bigger... We need 3 connections to make this work. And it doesn't have to be on that side, I suppose. We could do it over here. And that gives us much more room. Okay, I think if I paint that myself... Okay, so that would be a warehouse. Why is this important? Well, the warehouse can hold different things than an open storage. So we could store crops, fabric, food, electrical components, plastics, explosives, chemicals, alcohol, clothes, mechanical components, and electronics. So at the beginning, we're not going to be able to do this, obviously, because we're going to have to bring stuff in here to get started. But once I built this could be the main spot. So we'll bring most of our stuff in by train, and that frees up our road for other things. This is also interesting because we could build our first industry off of this right here, which will be clothing. And to do clothing, we need a fabric factory and 2 clothing. So, yeah, I think if we do it like over here... This is going to be roughed in a little bit. I'm not going to be too precise on this portion, but I just need to know how much room I need. Okay, so if you were there in the middle, and then something like this, and then we'd have... I just know the ratio is 1 fabric factory to 2. Yeah, okay, that's something. Okay, flip you. I think we could do that better. Factory connection. So can you connect? Yes. Can you connect? Yes. If you make these too long, you have to put in an actual forklift depot, which means you have to buy forklifts, which means you need to fuel them. If you have it like this, it's just like internal forklifts, move stuff around. Okay, so we have a rail connection here. We bring in open... Okay, I'm already seeing one issue here. We have to get trucks to this spot. No, we don't. We get trucks into this spot. Okay, we can put in a loading... We'll put a truck loading station here. In fact, let's just do that, because that just about gave me a heart attack that I'd have to start over. We're going to have a road cargo station. No, we're going to have... I may not see what I want. Yeah, road cargo station. All right, 4 parking spots, 6 parking spots, 2. I think we want the big one for this. This could be a pretty major spot. Okay, you only have 1 road. Do I have one that has an in and an out? No. Okay, so any of these connections is fine, really. Kind of like the look of that one, actually. That kind of lines both of these roads to connect over here. Okay, so this is our open storage. We're going to have construction vehicles coming here to get supplies. That's why I really want this. It would be nice if I could do... Actually, hold on. Can I connect that to both of those? That would be absolutely glorious if I could. No, not forklift. This one. You know, I bet you we can. I need to connect... Oh, that's the road connection. Never mind. Nope, that won't work. That's fine. Kind of. There's no military or violence particularly, but you will do lots of propagandizing. And we have like secret police that are gonna go install like listening bugs on people's phones and stuff. It's very like, I guess, Eastern Europe, like pre-wall fall. Not Eastern Europe, Eastern Germany, pre-wall fall. Oh, I guess it kind of applies to everybody. And that's a major thing. Like, we have happiness and loyalty, and yeah, keeping those high is what keeps you out of a death spiral. Okay, so we can pick up those supplies. This is a little unfortunate. That's going to be awkward to get stuff out of here. So we're going to need a pretty big road that comes in this way. Actually, no, we don't, because we have a connection over here. Alright, that's fine. Okay, what else can we connect up here? We could get in our meat. We could bring meat in via train. We have a warehouse, we have that. I am going to just throw... 75 tons of meat is probably plenty. That's a 75 tons of meat. That is a barbecue there, my friends. Man's gotta eat. Alright, like that. Alright, just to double check, let's just make sure that I can get these roads out. Oops. Alright, and you can connect. A little awkwardly, but yes. Okay, so roads can get out of the area. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. So I think we'll probably have to start by bringing stuff in by truck to get this started, and we'll use this money to help fund this giant complex that we have just built. And we still have a factory connection here, so we still could have one more something get imported via this station. Alright, the last thing I need to do is we need to make sure that our trains can get here. Alright, what is... We built this one, right? Yeah. What is your distance, do you say? 83 meters. Okay, we said 155 was our longest train. So I need to make sure I have at least 72 meters of track. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. Make sure that the butt of the caboose, as it is, doesn't stick out and block something. Okay, that means then we need to connect into this rail section. And as mentioned, we are right-hand drive, so I need to come in. Okay, good. Is that fine? I think that's fine. And we need to connect to the opposite side. There. Alright, and then I need to make it so that we can go the other direction. Because if we... This would allow us to go back and forth to here, but there's no way to go the other direction. So we're going to need... Where can I get that connected? Oh, perfect. I could probably make that even shorter. Again, I want them to be nice and short because I have to pay for all this stuff. That was a little too close. Back up a little bit. There we go. These intersections are okay when you have small volumes of trains, but these will become problems if you have high traffic. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And then we have one more thing to do. So if I come in on this side, I could only leave via the same way, so I need a crossover here. A little bit of an awkward spot to do one. Oh, you're not going to fit? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Back up a little bit. Trains plus angles equal bad. Okay, back up a little bit more. Oh, come on. I know you can do this. We just did a crossover over there. Alright, that's what I want, but I want that as far back as I can. Because again, our caboose is going to be sticking out. Wow, really? I swear that should fit. There it is. Okay, right there. Alright, does that leave me enough room, though? That makes me a little bit worried I'm too close. What did I say this needed to be? 70? from here to here. 59. That's not enough. Because we need this to be 155. We're darn close. All right. We got to do a little wiggle in here. So how far? Let's actually move that. So we need 155, and like we got to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. So let's say 160. All right. It cannot happen before that point. Come on, you can do this. How could I change this? Okay, we will take this intersection out, and we will just do this a little bit differently. Does that help me? Maybe. Maybe that helps me. Come on, give me green. Give me green. Alright, and then from there... Oh, this is going to be a horrific intersection. Alright, so you need to get into here somehow. I can clean that up a little bit. Alright, that's not going to work, though. Never going to get that connection. Alright, yeah, now I'm getting myself confused. You are the far side, and you are the close side. Alright, close side. Nope. Close side. Oh, jeez. No. We do not want that. Alright. We can fix this. We just gotta... We'll change the angle that we leave the station and give ourselves a little more lead. All of you back, all of you back. I do find rail to be a little bit fiddly, but as a kid, I got to do a little bit of model railroading, and I absolutely loved it. So I know this isn't exactly the most engaging spot, but I do find it kind of fun. All right, come down this way. Gives us a little bit more room. Is that going to be enough? Let's see, you are the closer. Yes, alright. Can we get you to do the same thing? Yes, okay, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright, and that should give me plenty of room to get you guys out. Alright, that can work. Let's see if we can make it a little neater, though. Oh yeah, we totally can neaten that up. There we go. There we go. It's all coming together. Alright, and then we still have our 160 thing. So all we need is to get a crossover here, and then we're good. Can we get it? Let's start all the way back here. Not at that angle. Oh, come on, come on. I know you can do this. Nope. No, we cannot. Alright. Back up further. I haven't done enough rail recently to be able to eyeball this. Alright, let's change our approach here. Let's build a crossover on our straightaway first, and then let's get it to connect properly. A little bit longer here. A little bit longer. Alright. Give me a crossover. Man, it is going to be so incredibly satisfying the first time we have a train get in here. Right, can I get in here, or is this going to be too sharp? This is going to be too sharp. Okay. How do I want to do it? I I hate to have to keep redoing it, but this has got to be right the first time. It cannot not be right. Alright, we're going to come out this way and give myself way more space. Alright, Mr. Measuring Tool. Yeah, that's plenty of room. Alright, then let's get that crossover. No, not on that side. Alright, can... Okay. Come on. Come on, crossover. I know you can do it. Too sharp of a turn. All that way. Alright. Back we go yet again. This angle is really yucky to come out of a station like that. Alright. I know for a fact that it will work here. There we go. Okay. Then from there... That's so much more rail than I originally wanted to use. Alright, well, thanks for making this super duper awkward rail. Very cool. There we go. All that pain for that, but this is super duper important we have this correct. Not being able to turn around a train is the most frustrating thing you can run into in this game. Okay. Well. Next. I don't need to worry about all these road connections or anything yet. I just want to get in here and turn this road. We want to turn it 90 degrees and then go this way with no angle. Okay, so that's going to head off that way. That's totally fine. Alright, let's actually start building some actual things. Alright, so we got to watch out for our power here. Let's just drop a high voltage switch right away, just so I don't forget. We'll do there, just to space ourselves here. Alright, you're going to need a road connection, that's totally fine. Okay, so I'm thinking... Yeah. Right about here... Pull out. Alright, now let's actually do something. So, in realism mode, I have to have all my vehicles come from the border. So, we're going to start with construction offices, and we want a construction office free. This is essentially a dirt lot. And we get 7 free ones that we can use. So 1, 2, and then I'm gonna do opposite of that. 3, 4, and then on the other side of the road. 5, 6. Teed here again, and 7. Okay, get those hooked up. We may actually unpause here in a second. Alright, what else do we need to get started? So this will let me bring in construction vehicles. We're going to need a place to refuel. So from roads, we're going to get the free gas station. This is essentially like a tank sitting in a field that you have to drive up to and hand pump. I think we're going to stick that back here with a long throat on it, because this is going to be a major traffic jam at the beginning. Okay, how are we going to get fuel there? We are going to use a distribution office, not you. Although, actually, I do want to build one of you. This is a depot where we can just buy vehicles. Here, distribution free. All right, we are going to use these guys. I think we can fit them in here. These guys can bring stuff in from the border, and we'll have him to get fuel here. Let's actually get that guy bought. So if I had a connection to the NATO side, I could buy NATO vehicles, but I don't, so I can't click that. So we have to buy Soviet stuff. And there are just... This is just what's unlocked in 1960. There are so many vehicles in this game. I know for a fact, just because I played, I like the T-138 Cistern. We'll get one of those. Do I want to get anything else in here? Not at the moment. I do, however, want a second distribution center. Now, I have to be careful of these. These are kind of important, and I only get 5 free ones. And we need research to get the better ones. Alright, this one, I am going to want a SKD 706 RTTN open. They're open holes. And I think we are actually going to unpause for a second and let some vehicles move in here. Alright, next we need to have a place to store materials as we bring them in. So cargo, we're going to use open storage. Now, this is definitely not going to be a permanent area. This is just getting us started. Put it along this road. That sometimes causes traffic jams. Let's not put it along that road. We have steel, boards, bricks, and prefab panels. That's what we're going to have to bring in here at the beginning. Alright, I'm going to pause for a second. Alright, I want this distribution office. Add a connection. You're going to go to the border. You're going to load fuel. And you're going to fill this place up. And I want you to fill it until it's 50% full. Alright, next, over here, I'm going to rename these for sanity's sake. This is going to be bricks. Actually, no. This is going to be free bricks. And I mean free because it's in a free depot. Okay, over here, rename. This is going to be free steel. This is going to be free boards. And free prefab. Alright, on our prefab place, we're going to limit them out. We want prefab panels. We want one, the ratio here is of 1 is 100% prefab panels. Okay, here, steel, limit amount. Steel, 1. Okay, free bricks. Oops. Limit amount. Bricks, 1. Here, this is boards. Make sure I get boards and not wood. You don't build with wood, you build with boards. Alright, and this distribution center, add border, add these. At the border, I would like you to load steel, prefab, bricks, and boards. Alright. Free boards is going to have boards. Free bricks will have bricks, etc., etc. Free steel gets steel. Free prefabs get prefabs. And how full do I want these to be? I want to make sure I always come with a full truck. So this can hold 76 tons of bricks, 95, 85. Okay, so 76 tons of bricks. Each one of these trucks can haul 10 tons. Alright, so let's say 80%, I think, on that one. That's the low one I just want to be a little bit careful on. And everyone else, I think, can go up to 90. We'll keep an eye on that and make sure they're always showing up with full loads. Because we have to pay for the fuel. So. Alright, so you guys are going to get those. You're going to get that. I think one of the first thing we're going to build is this. Let's go ahead and tell them... Okay, you actually... Oh, you are set to build. Do not activate construction. Batch suspend. I do not want you to build any of that yet. But I do want you to build that. Okay. What else do we need? We're going to need gravel. We're not going to import that till that building's done. We're going to need workers. Okay. Workers. I want a bus stop that is free. Alright, so this is basically just like a sign in the dirt. And I'm going to stick that... I wonder if I could squeeze that in right here. Can I get you to connect? Can. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to have one bus that goes here and hires foreign workers. He will drop them off here, and then we will pick them up to use them. And I don't like that angle right here. A little bit. Fix that a little bit further. That way. Okay, so that's going to allow us to get workers in. To do that, we're going to need a bus. Alright, show me buses. This is a short distance on a junky road, so speed doesn't really matter particularly. What matters is the amount of people. We're not going to be able to get that many at the beginning. Yeah, the Skid 706 RTO Lux bus. I think that's what we'll get. Okay, so bringing that in. I don't want to clog up my border until I have my fuel guy. Are you ready to rock? Load, fuel, unload, storage percent, 50%. I want to make sure this guy's ready to go. Source building, destination building. Okay, let me give that a second. There he goes. Okay. I do want him to do that, so I'm just going to kind of let that fly for a second. Also, you suspend. Alright, what else are we going to need at the beginning here? We're going to need power to run this. So let's plan that out. Do I want to bring high voltage or medium voltage over here? I think we bring a high voltage over here. We're going to have to run high voltage into towards town anyways. So we might as well just do it if we're going to do it. Alright, so we will drop another switch. Back. Say there. And then we need a transformer. Yeah, that's totally fine. So we're going to go from high voltage down to medium voltage. Something like that. Planned economy in action. Yeah. this is probably like a... Well, this area is probably like a 5-year plan. The city's going to be a 3-year plan, I think. Hopefully. Alright, we don't need the hugest wires here. Although, it is misery to change this later, so I will go with the biggest. Alright, and we're going to need to get you over there. To there. Across the road to there. And then connect there. We're also going to need to connect that switch. That makes me a little nervous that I only have one out, so nothing can really go that way. No, we're okay, because I have a second switch here, so we could have power come out of that one. Okay, that's fine. Alright, from this box, then, we need to deliver power, and we have to go down to a medium. And if I'm going to build power anyways, let's see if we can hit everybody here. So I don't have to build multiples. And I definitely can. Alright, so somewhere in this neighborhood. We might just do it at this corner. Alright, let's connect this road. And we'll come off of that. Oh man. Is the music okay for you guys? I can't tell on this one if it's loud or quiet. I quite like it. It's just got that like 70s, 80s, like I don't know how to describe it. Like electro, I don't know what you'd call this. All right, this I'm just visually double checking and triple checking to make sure I can hit everything here. I wonder what the odds are that I can hit the depot I want to build over here too. Decent, I think. Okay. You do not want to mess up your utilities. It is misery to fix this, so I'm just very careful. Okay, that can go there, and then we connect that with the highest voltage medium wire we can. We have to get over to that. Can I snake you through here somehow? Can. Get across there. Into here. That gives me 2 to go across the street. Or just 1. Maybe just 1. We'll connect there. Okay, so we need to build all of this. We need to build all of this. And we're going to build this first, and then we'll build that. Okay. So our first thing we're going to build is some power and a place to store gravel. And I think at this point I'm going to get that set up to start, and then we can let the game play while we plan the actual city. So we'll let that go. Okay, so what do we need? We need all kinds of things here. We're going to need dumpers. Let's buy... Now, dumpers is always an interesting discussion. So these are dumpers. You have 2 real choices at the beginning here. The BZ252... He can haul 25 tons of material. However, he only goes 35 kilometers an hour. That's fine on these dirt roads, that's max speed, but we're going to gravel roads really quickly. Which means that the T138 dumper, who can only haul 10, however, he can go 70 kilometers an hour. That is a big difference. And if you're hauling around small loads, like let's say you only need 1 ton of gravel, this guy's way more fuel efficient, way faster to do it. So that would be a reason not to get these guys. I think at the beginning we will have a couple of these, but we'll probably use them at a distribution office, and we'll use them to fill this up. So I think for my actual construction crew, let's do 4 dumpers. Okay, what else do we need? We need excavators. Alright, 2 choices here, speed 22, speed 33. This one digs faster, so I'm taking it. Let's get 3. You can haul these on the back of an open haul truck, so I may choose to do that. So I'm leaving an open space to give myself that option. Alright, what else? For building roads, I really like to have bulldozers. They are the fastest road building piece. Let's start with just 1 bulldozer. We'll get a roller. I just know I'm going to need this later. That's for like asphalt construction. And we'll need... Where are you? A paver. Alright, we'll leave that spot open for now. Alright, over here, we're going to need open holes to carry around materials. I'm just going to get 4 of those straight up. We're going to need 1 covered hole to haul around like electronics and tiny mechanical things. This is another one that's kind of interesting. Nope, not open. Covered. This is the biggest one. It can haul between 5 and 10 depending on what you're moving around. However, we're never going to use 5 or 10 tons of these things. So maybe the smaller guy... It's the same speed limit. It's the same truck, I think. It's just a different bed on it. Engine power is the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. He is 1,000 cheaper. I think because they're the same speed, it's not that much of a difference. We'll get the bigger one. Okay, just one of those, though, should cover us okay. Next up, what else do we need? Road cranes are useful. Let's do road cranes. Well, I am going to want some. Do I want them there, though? I don't know. Let's hold off on that. Let's come over here. We'll buy concrete mixers next. I'm going to go with 4. Concrete is always kind of an awkward one because you tend to need it at the beginning of construction, and then you don't need any more. So if you go with low amount of trucks, it can be frustrating because you're waiting forever. Alright, for now, we have to get our gravel from here. You guys are the open holes, and you are going to get your stuff from here. You're doing road stuff. You can just chill for a minute. Excavators, you don't need to pick up anything. But yeah, you can already see the traffic jams getting started. Our concrete mixers are already taking their first load, maybe? Or are you just showing up? Nope, just showing up. Okay, I don't want to start grabbing people yet. Oh, I put the open hole here. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. Not going to hurt anything. Just started my last spell series yesterday. Nice. We had a fun one. I won't spoil it in case you haven't finished it, but yeah, yesterday's was a excruciating end to that one. Trying to lay track in Foxhole. I've never played Foxhole. Is that game still going strong? I know they were having like some player count issues. Oh, and I see that we missed a piece of road here. Babel forgets 31 feet of road. Thousands die. Yeah, here's the initial traffic jam for the fuel depot. And this one's terrible because it's literally just some like things of fuel. You have to go here and hand pump it. Music volume fine. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I want to make sure you can hear it because I really do like their OST. This will clear up once the initial one's done. It won't be a problem, but you're always just going to have this initial plug up, so just eat it. Alright, here we go. Our first delivery. Our first delivery of 10 tons of gravel going out. Okay, that's the mixers. Alright, what else are we going to need? We are going to need a bus to take people to their work site, and we are going to want some cranes. So let's do road cranes because they don't have to be hauled by another vehicle. These guys will, I believe it's a 5x multiplier on how fast your workers can do construction on sites that can use a crane. So these are very, very good. You'll see once we have to start moving workers around, the choke point of construction is usually your workers. Alright, let's start with 2. I may go up to 3. And we're also going to need another bus to actually move workers around. This is another hard one. I think the 40 size bus is about right for most constructions, but it sucks when you have a tiny construction and they deliver 40 people. In that case, one of these little micro buses would be better. They deliver 7 or 8 people. But for large construction sites, that's way too few. So I think at the beginning when we're getting started, I'm going to go with a size 40. Alright, our traffic jam's clearing up. None of our other vehicles will head over here until we have some construction materials on site. So we're not going to see any movement until we have a couple deliveries. Some steel coming in. Okay, last of our dumpers is refueled and heading out. Okay, next up, this is going to be really awkward. Maybe we don't. I want to gravel this spot, but I think I'm going to wait until we have the gravel over here, because it's going to be traffic jam o'clock once I start that. We could work on this. Let's actually get started, though. I don't want to distract my dumpers with too many jobs at the moment. Okay, excavators. We have a road paving crew. For you guys, I do think I'm going to splurge a little bit. Let's get an open hole, and let's tell them to deliver via truck only. A paver or an asphalt, like driving on their own, is excruciatingly slow. So I think we will allow that. Alright, we're already building up a stockpile of materials. Yeah, you can already see we're already having to queue at the border. And we're not even hauling in like food or anything yet. So yeah, I did correctly diagnose that as gonna be a problem. Alright, so here I believe we have a bus should show up here at some point. So 1 open slot. We have 4 open slots, and you are full. Okay. I have to be careful because this is the total amount of free places I can have. So if I fill it up, I won't have room for anything else I discover that I need. Okay, you're going to need a road connection, I see. So we do need to build that. Okay. Delivering some stuff. All this needs to be built. However, I'm going to tell them to prioritize this because we can start dumping stuff in here before we have power. That's fine. So let's make that the priority so we can start bringing that in. Okay, and I think this is off and running and it doesn't need my full attention anymore. So next up, let's start actually looking at the city. Okay, so this is the high point. It's not too bad. We don't have any like crazy cliffs or anything where we're going to be building. One consideration is, as in real life, shit flows downhill. What do I mean by that? We're going to need a sewage outlet, and we want it to be at a low point, and we need to dump it somewhere. So it's probably going to go into this lake. I think that's going to be the case. So let's say we put it over here. We don't want to have a city right next to the sewage outlet. So our city probably goes over here. Not too far from the construction. Let's get our tool out here. Okay, height 3.53 meters, 7, 0. Okay, so this will work, but that's not a very big change of elevation. We may have to install sewage pumps, which sucks, but it is what it is on that. Alternatively, we could get this lake to cross the border if we lowered the terrain here. I turn right. It is definitely better. I played, I don't know, maybe 10 hours in the last week just to reacquaint myself. It definitely was way better. I saw a lot less people getting delivered to work sites that nothing could be worked on, but it didn't seem perfect. So we will watch it. Maybe it is better. There was another patch, so I was playing on pre 1.0, so that very well could be. I usually build a 24 construction office first place, free place for road construction. I don't require people. Yeah, I do think that may be another. In my test game, I didn't do that, and I really regretted it. I built it as like the first building after the city. We may build it over here, since we're going to have the gravel close anyways. Put it right here. It's a consideration. Alright, what do I want? I kind of want to extend this road. Actually, let's change our camera angle here so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, this road just straight out. I think we're going to go, like, really far. And we're just going to trust the 1 degree thing. Alright, I think that's about in the middle. Please don't be horrendous. It's a little to the right, but it's fine. You gotta let go of the OCD. Embrace Soviet architecture. Do not get caught in that trap, because you'll be here forever. Alright, so that's one road that maybe we build off of. So I'm seeing... Need to get some distances here. So by foot on gravel paths, people are willing to walk... I think it's 450 meters. So let's round down, say 400 meters. So if I want walking distance stuff, they need to be within 400 meters of each other. So just to give us some reference, that's 400 from there to here. So if we put the center of town here, people would be willing to walk that far to do something. So maybe we back it up just a smidgen to like right there. Just throw a road here, just for visual sake. Yeah, get our tool again. Alright, grab this. Alright, what's 400 meters over here? Oh wow, I was actually pretty close. 400 meters. I mean, that's close enough, basically. Like right here. So somewhere right in here would be my middle of town. This is going to be a bus town, so we're going to have a bus depot as kind of our centerpiece of town. And everything will hub and spoke off of that. So if we build here... That kind of makes me think of, let's do a poop chute over here. And we'll dump our sewage here, rather than trying to drag it that far. Because that's like a kilometer. That does not give me a lot of elevation change, though, so unfortunately we will probably end up with sewage pumps. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. Where are we going to get our water? Maybe over here? I don't foresee myself building anything. I want to keep water away from everything because it's very sensitive to pollution. So I'm thinking somewhere over here, maybe we'll build a couple pumps and a water treatment facility, and we'll pump it into town. Now, unfortunately, that is downhill, though. So we would have to pump uphill into town. We could build the water over here. And then what, like farms around it, maybe? Farms aren't very polluting. Yeah, you definitely don't want it near this. This is going to have high traffic, big industrial stuff here. We may build a power plant over here to keep it away from town. We may build our heating plant somewhere over here to keep it away from town. So, yeah, maybe the water is over here. If we could get it up at least a couple feet, that would help. Okay, I think that's good enough for me. I'm mentally okay with all that. Let's go ahead and get a bus depot. Alright, so... kind of want to square this up. So, right about... let's go in a little bit. Something like this. Heading towards the middle. And we were pretty dang close to something like that. Alright, back this up a little bit. What I'm going to do here, I like this design. I don't know if it's efficient. I like to do a bus depot in the middle with a roundabout kind of around it. And it keeps traffic kind of flowing relatively well. Alright, so we need a bus platform, and I want the one that has 2 entrances. I don't remember which that is. Not you. That does have 2 entrances, but that's not what I want. I think it's you. How many people do you serve? You could have 400 people waiting for a bus. That's a little on the small side. This is going to be a pretty big town. Maybe we go up one more. 600 people. I will always regret this no matter how I build this. So, if I go super huge now, we have to pay for it. And it's not going to do anything for us for a long, long time. If I go too small, though, it is exceedingly frustrating to try to enlarge those. So, that kind of is what that is. Alright, let me think here. Let's position this... I know that what is currently at the top right is the entrance. That probably means I'm going to have people in that direction. I'm okay with that. I think I am. Alright. Let's set you... here. I may have to move that. And let's start building a roundabout. Hopefully. Alright, so to get a roundabout started, this is going to be kind of close. We don't want to make this too huge. Piece of straight, and then we want to curve. Something like... That's telling me 100 degrees, but that's because we're going to delete this straight piece. Right, from here. This may take me a couple tries. Actually, I think just right here looks a little wonky, but otherwise not too bad. Back that up a little bit. Let's see if we can get that a little nicer. Doesn't have to be perfectly round either. We also could go a little bit oval. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. That's pretty dang close. Okay, next. Make sure that these connections look okay. So this one's off a little bit. Let's pull you out. And we don't need this tool at the moment. Alright, so this looked like it... Oops, this looked like it would have been closer to middle. Yeah. And it's not going to be exact. Like I said, it's... We are very Soviet construction here, so... If the plans say it's off by one little bit, then that's what we do. No questions asked. Alright, and one thing I found can help these roundabouts out be even better is instead of this, where it's kind of like you come in at almost a 90-degree angle, we can actually do this. And we will take out that middle piece. So if you're coming this way, you will come here, and we're going to make this a one-way roundabout, obviously. And this will allow them to stay at full speed, essentially. And this is, I believe that's the entrance, so you can come straight in here, and we will have one crossing, so that's a little bad, but can't really help that. And then over here, let's get this in first. Alright, one thing you can do to get rid of these little nodes is you can put a sign and then remove the sign, and it will get rid of the node. So we can get a proper connection here. Thought I saw it. There it is. And there it is. Pull that out. I want to do all this for a specific reason. We're actually going to pave this before we actually turn on the city, because this is literally the heart of our city. So everything will have to flow through here. So it's really important. I don't like that angle. I wish you were a little bit sharper, or a little bit curved, but I don't think I can change that. Everything's going to have to flow through here. Once we have our own workers, if we mess this up and the heating plant turns off in the winter, people freeze to death. So we cannot have this mess up or have delays or anything. So to that end, I am going to immediately go up to paved, and we're just going to get started on paving some of this. So you can start both of those constructions. And we'll go here, and I want to tell you guys, don't work on buildings, don't work on that, don't work on that. You can do roads, you can do footpaths, you could do factory connections, and nothing else. And you can auto-search for jobs 3.5 kilometers away. Alright, and that should get going. They're going to have to haul a lot of materials over there, so that's going to be a long-term job. In fact, let's queue up a little bit more of that so I don't have to pay attention. Alright, we'll let them get started on that. How are we doing on construction? I will turn the speed up here in a second. Once I have a little bit more plan. In fact, we could probably just do it now. So, this is fast speed. This is regular speed. So there's not that much a difference. I tend to move between the two. When I'm planning things, I tend to go down to slower speed. I don't know how good of viewing experience that is, but that's what you get. Alright, these guys are running somewhere. I think they want to go work on the road. I do not want them to work on roads. They are not fast. No roads, no footpaths, no factory connections. I don't want you to do that. Let's cancel those. Aggregate storage, yes. Wires, yes. Unfinished roads, no. No unfinished roads for you guys. Yeah, you turn right there, friend. They're going to have plenty of work to do here in just a second. All right, what do you... We need concrete. You guys are not running it out there. Okay, maybe we are ready for some workers down there. Why are you guys not doing that? Are you just not on far enough search? I need to go in and... Let's do that now. Get all of our search radiuses fixed. For now, at least, everyone can do the full distance away when they're looking for jobs. Okay, I thought I gave you guys a bus, but I must not have. Buy a bus, and we wanted the 40. All right, what's up with you guys? You got jobs that you could be doing. Let's just make sure. Are you assigned to that? Yes. You have high priority. No workers missing concrete. Did I not set you guys up to get concrete? No, I didn't. This is the problem with a planned economy. No one man is smart enough to run an economy. Because I didn't tell them to get concrete from here, they were just sitting in their trucks listening to Euro beats. For like 2 days, we've had that game rolling. And there they all zip out, ready to get concrete. Alright, they are going to bring in plenty of concrete. They should bring it here. So I think we are ready to start grabbing some people. So we're going to set this guy up. We're going to go to the border. We're going to go here. At the border, we're not going to bring in tourists or anyone else. We just want workers, and we're going to load. At the bus stop, we're going to unload. And I usually clean this up. I don't have to because they're not going to be on there, but visually it just helps me know what I'm doing. And we're going to tell them that you have to get off the bus here. They wouldn't normally get off here because there's nothing that they can see they can work on. But we're going to use the other bus to pick them up from here and take them to the work site. So let's launch that. And view line details, rename. This is foreign workers. Right. The foreign workers will get picked up there. Close without saving? No. Do save that. They'll come to here. Then this place, I want you to get your workers from here. And there we go. So we brought in 20 strapping lads that want to do some construction work for us, and we pay for them when we pick them up. So we want to make sure we're using them because we've already paid their day's wage. And we're going to zip on down here and drop that off. And there's an excavator showing up. 2 of them already, in fact. In fact, they're probably going to finish that before the workers even get here. Some stages of construction can be done by mechanisms. And you always want to use mechanisms when possible. Yeah, he's going to get here and have nothing to do. Womp womp. That's okay. All we need is some steel to be delivered, which we should see a truck. Yep, heading out with steel. Loading more steel. The loading here is very slow because this is literally just a dirt field with stuff in it. When we have an actual storage, like what we're building over here, we have a crane. It'll load way, way, way faster. You know, to wit, maybe we build this a little early. I normally wouldn't, because we're not going to get the train for a long time. But we could actually, instead of using those, we could come over here and load off of that. We're already going to have power here anyways. Maybe we do that. It's not how I normally would build a city, but just kind of worked out that way this time. Hey, I don't see any traffic jams. I do see dumpers that aren't moving. Are you guys done? Resources on construction site. Yep, things are here. People are arriving. Okay, I don't have a crane here, though. I don't like that. Let's add that 3rd crane. Because we're paying people by the day, by multiplying how much work they can get done, we're being far more efficient. Now, I didn't go with full realism mode money. You start with far, far less. But unlike the pros like, I don't know, Party Elite or Bebo Joe, I'm not that good. So we had a small loan from our Soviet father of 4.5 million rubles. to get us going. You don't have... Yeah, I did catch that finally. I need to be a little better. Let me pop chat out. I normally don't have my chat set up like this. I'm missing things I shouldn't be missing. Cram this over here so I can actually notice when people are chatting. There we go. There we go. Do workers still reset their time waiting if they cycle between 2 bus stations? I believe so. I don't need to worry about that, though. I'm pretty certain we will be able to use these guys up. We can test that easily if we want to. I'm not going to fiddle with it at the moment. What we would want to check, and we can check it right here. So he's been waiting for 3 hours. He's willing to wait 12. So we want to just make sure he gets picked up and used. And there's our bus coming back. We dropped off some workers. We need a little bit more steel and a little bit of mechanisms, and then we are done with this. Guess we will go ahead and we'll turn this on too. This is our truck loading station, so it's going to take gravel from here and efficiently load trucks. This all won't work without power, really, though, so I'm not in a super big hurry. In fact, let's take these. We'll just put them on low because we need the power before that becomes relevant. Nothing delivered here yet. We have stuff delivered here. We have stuff delivered here. Okay. Things are happening. They're a little unfocused at the moment, but that's okay. Picked up and used. That's how I feel after my last return. Man, feels bad, man. Feels bad. Okay. I like that we are full here, so our trucks aren't having to make runs constantly, so that's nice. We have concrete mixers that have nothing to do. Okay. I think we're good just to keep letting that go. Alright, over here, yeah, it's working, is our paver people. What are you guys doing? Okay, you're taking a roller out to work. They're going to be really choked by dumper availability, I think. And I do think I can queue up some more, though. I want to leave it so that there's always a path that you can get there that's not being worked on. So I have lots of open jobs, essentially, over here. And I think I can do that to here. We're going to pave all of this and probably the Y portion that comes into it. And that's all we're going to do on this one. We could also just start some gravel. I do say I have a truck sitting here. If I see more than one truck sitting here for more than a second, I think I will queue up a graveled road. I think we'll do this one right here. When it rains, you go to, like, basically 0 speed. Okay, they're having some free time. Let's gravel this piece of road. That's going to be a long... It's going to be a long, long time. Make sure all those are started. Alright, there we go, and there goes our bulldozer. I may purchase some more bulldozers and do a lot more graveling, but that's not going to be until we get this finished. Once this is full of gravel and we're not choking ourselves to death at the depot here, at the customs office, we'll do that. Okay, what else can we plan? Alright, people are willing to walk, I think it's 450-ish meters to something. If they can't find what they want, like let's say we have Peter over here wants to go to the hospital, but he can't find a hospital in range. He'll walk to a depot, in this case a bus depot, and then he will wait for a bus, or he will be willing to walk again. So everything within our town needs to be within walking distance of here. That's how I'm building this place. I don't want citizens to have to take a bus to something other than work. At least yet. Not for our starting area. So, we need all of our stuff for citizens to be within walking from here. So what do we need? Okay, we'll need houses. I'm not going to build this yet, but I'm going to click one because I just remembered I want to turn off Get Citizens. That will auto-invite people in. I do not want that. We're not going to be ready until probably year 3. I'm not a fast starter, and I'm streaming, so I'm slower than normal. So we're going to build houses, we're going to build infrastructure, and then everyone will come in when everything is ready. It's going to be like Disneyland opening a new Soviet park. Alright, we will need houses. That'll be a thing. Food, shopping. We need to be able to buy stuff. I like the stores. I tend to build this one, but I think it's kind of overkill. This one has problems where you get so many people shopping at it, it's hard to supply. If that's the case, maybe we drop down a little bit. So this is the Mondo one that can serve 405 visitors at the same time. That is way too many. So we want something smaller than that. 180, 105, 150, 150. All right, what if we go to the 180? I don't know that the numbers actually are, which is very unfortunate. Like, I don't know how many people this can serve. Like, I'm going to guess it's like 3,000 people in our city, but that's a pure guess. I don't know that. My least favorite part about the early game is upgrading dirt to gravel since it breaks the line of sight. Yep. Yep. I try to always have 2 access ways. So there will be certain times, like this piece right here. In fact, I might just queue that up right now while it doesn't matter. That this is the only way you can get in here. So it has to be upgraded. This is going to be another bad one right here. Yeah, it's just going to have to happen at some point. So I try to always have 2 ways in and out. Alright, shopping center, this guy. Alright, I like this because it has 2 factory connections. That is going to be super duper useful for us. Alright, I do want the road connection here. We might need emergency services like police and ambulances to be able to get here. They don't need to come in via the roundabout though, so I could connect just to one of our offshoot spokes. We have tons of footpaths, I like that. We don't have any good footpath connections on this side though, I'm noticing. That's not horrible though. It's not a huge problem. Like this is only 119 meters of walking. So that's totally fine. That's not a problem. Thinking up here. So something... something like this. Okay. If that's going to be the case, I'm not going to connect this yet because I want to gravel this before I break up and add a node here. When you queue up road construction, you build between nodes. So each one of these little dots is a node. So this one is one giant construction because it's unbroken. If I start connecting things here, I'll add nodes. I don't want to do that until I'm done graveling it. So that will have a road connection. Next up, one of the things that can be hard to keep supplied is meat. So maybe we splurge a little bit here and we build meat storage, some cold storage. And it has factory connections. So our meat storage could go like that. Do I like that? If I make it a little bit longer, we can use mechanisms to build the factory connection rather than workers. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer than it needs to be. There. Alright, then we have a decision to make. We could get like a small warehouse. We could do something like this. Add a warehouse here that adds way more storage. So the shopping center we built can hold 14 tons of food, 1.3 tons of meat. Those tend to be the things you run out of first. If we built a warehouse, even just the smallest one, this warehouse would hold 100 tons of food. So this would make it where we really didn't have to worry about running out. That's one option. However, that is, we have to build a warehouse. That's expensive. Although this small one's not that bad. Alternatively, we could do a road cargo station. Maybe we don't need the 6 slaughter though. Go down to the 4 slaughter. We could build a road cargo station like this, and then we could tell trucks to deliver stuff here, and then wait until you're empty. so we could use the truck essentially as extra storage. I tend to go this direction and not build the warehouse, but that's because they didn't used to have the smaller warehouses. You had to build this thing, which is much bigger, and yeah, 9.4 tons of steel versus 1.8. The small shopping center can easily service 1.5 to 2K. When you say small one, do you mean this guy? I'm going to assume that you do. So that's 150, and we built to 180. So we could probably do 2.5 to maybe 3K if we have good loyalty running. Do university-educated people serve people vodka faster? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They learn... What do you think they learn in college? That's silly. You can think about it, though, as... like, the highly educated people help be the managers. They help keep the logistics running properly. They help people's schedules work so people show up to work on time and whatnot. Ideally somewhat sober. I'm kind of liking the idea of the warehouse. It's not something I normally do. Having a connection to the cold storage does nothing here. We can deliver directly to the cold storage anyways. Let's flip that, because I don't want this to connect into our roundabout either. Yeah, let's do the warehouse. Okay, warehouse there. That will need a connection. Are we done? Oh, we are already done. We are already done with our first gravel road. That. And then that also tells me we're ready to gravel this road. All right, let's do a quick check. What do we got running? Anything finished? You're not done. What do you need? You still need... Okay, I bet you I don't have somebody... You. That's the problem. Because I stuck this truck here, he needs to know that he can go pick up supplies. All right, what else is running? You need some steel. Okay, why are you not delivering steel? Needs electrical components. Oh, he's just waiting on electrical components. Okay. You... Okay, everyone needs electrical components. We had a little bit of a slow up there. That's alright. Okay. Now we have a shopping center. We have very heavy-duty storage and supplies for it. Next up, I'm not going to build this to start with, but I am going to get it set up. I am going to use a modded item here. I don't think I like any of the basic pubs. Holy moly. That is a pub. Jesus! This is like the Walmart of pubs. 120 people. Okay, we are not building that. That will... No. I'm going to use this modded pub. It is very similar to this guy. Serves 60. This also serves 60. So it is the vanilla pub, but it has factory connections. So we're just going to have the ability to move alcohol via forklift. And that's very important in our republic. It also does need a road access. I tend to find you need police and you need ambulances at the pub very often. So I think I'm going to have it come off of this side street, though. Again, it doesn't need to be connected to the main arterial spots. Saying that, though... Do that. I don't want this road, because I do think I'm going to gravel this. We are going to have a lot of delivery trucks coming and going here, and I don't want them slow. So we'll get that done before we road connect. The big pub is insane, never been able to fill it up. That just seems like you're asking for everyone to die from alcoholism. And yes, that is a thing in this game. A little bit of booze, you know, drink responsibly, guys. Drink responsibly. Know your limits. New vehicle type. Alright, a new, looks like a harvester. Not of interest to us at the moment. New boxcars, not interested. Okay, our paving project is going really well. Let's get some more of that queued up. Do that, and that. That. I think that's everything we can currently reach. Okay, shopping center done. Pub done. Storage and delivery done. Alright, let's see what we got next. Shopping done. Alcohol done. We're not going to build a beach cafe yet. Alright, next up, cinema. So this is like, people need something to do. They need some culture. So we have an amphitheater, a cinema, or a house of culture. Most people, I think, build the cinema to start with. It's very worker efficient. Again, this is a building that I don't even think you technically need the road for it. I will let it have a road connection. And it's definitely, I mean, we're only like at 200 meters walking if they have to go to that driveway, and I'm going to give them footpaths. So, again, we are plenty close. Do something like that. Do I want to connect you yet? Sure. When we later asphalt pave this, I'm not going to do that for a very long time. Gravel will be most of our place, except for this roundabout, and some very, very key locations. So if I split this up now, it's not going to matter. Alright, that's culture. We haven't unlocked the radio station. Next up, we need some sports. People need something to do. They've added all kinds of different... We got basketball, we got tennis. The problem with a lot of those is they close in the winter, and we're going to have very heavy winters, so... Most people, I think, you used to always go indoor swimming pool, but they've added sports hall, and they've added a different sports hall. So 105 people, 175, or 90 for the pool. You know, the sports hall is even more worker efficient. It costs a lot more steel, though. And it's much bigger. I've never used that. I kind of like the idea of having extra space. I tend to run out of space in an indoor swimming pool, and then I tend to build a couple outdoor things just to kind of help. I think we go pool. It's the classic. Alright. How are people going to get to the pool? They're going to walk. How are they going to walk? From the bus depot. So, again, we just need to be within range. Trying to leave room near the road for footpaths and utilities and power and whatnot. So, give ourselves some space. I tend to build my cities a little too cramped. I probably will end up doing it here, but yeah, I always end up doing that for whatever reason. I have this humongous map, and somehow I'm like, no, it must be pixel perfect. Alright, that is sports. Let's do a quick check. We got things done? We do. Okay, let's deal with this for a second. And tell me if we're out of gravel. Store gravel. Aggregate is stuff like gravel, coal, etc. You can't mix it up. Like, you can't have a pile of gravel and coal at the same place, or you just have a mess. So, only one thing can be stored in aggregate storage at a time. Before I turn that on, I'm just going to bite the bullet. This sucks. And I'm going to gravel that, and we're going to gravel this. I'm going to tell you high priority. It sucks. Yeah, it's going to be a big delay, but we got to do it at some point. And let's do it before it messes up our logistics. Okay, I'm seeing some power lines done. Okay, we're working. I bet you don't have a road connection. Working on switch. Working on substation. Okay. Things are happening. Almost in there. Okay, that's almost ready for power. We're getting pretty close. We also have free things that aren't working, so I do need to get something started. We are... Is that done? Yes, it is. Go ahead and get our road in here. Alright, you are... This road's almost done, so they'll be able to get started on that. Yeah, our little bulldozer's so much faster than workers hand shoveling. Alright, we'll just dirt road in the pub. Not going to start it yet, though. Okay, next up. That's everything from the first tab, except for buildings. No housing has been built yet. Okay, next up. State infrastructure. Hospital. Alright, I tend to find that the clinic is just too small. I outgrow this, like, instantaneously. I don't think we need a large... Holy moly. I don't think we need John Hopkins here. So let's just use a regular hospital. I tend to put this one at maximum walking distance from here. So we're looking somewhere out this direction. And this isn't correct because it's pathing a weird direction. This might be a little better read. Plus, we're going to footpath it, so this will definitely be closer. 170, yeah, we could go all the way. Just want to make sure. That would be too far without upgrading roads. But this is definitely close enough. So we could build it all the way over here if we wanted to. We're going to have ambulances. People with a cold can walk. We may have pollution over here, so I probably don't want the hospital next to pollution. Ditto with that. So maybe we build it. Maybe we do build it kind of close to the town center. Right next to the pub, so you can go over there. Before or after your doctor's appointment, depending on what you need. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing it. And this is one of those places, this is one of those special ones. It is immediately going to just start with an asphalted entrance. I'd never, ever, ever want to touch this once it's up and running, because our ambulances won't be able to get in and out. The new hospital with a helipad on the roof. Oh, interesting. I did like when I got Decadent adding helipads. So you're talking this guy. Not that one, I guess. There might be more that I can unlock. Okay, what else do we need? We're going to need a school. This is another one that I always kind of hem and haw about. So, I don't need this mega school. 500 people at once, I don't think that's ever going to happen. 150, 360... I could see 360. I like to invite third world immigrants, and they usually come in without education. So even the adults will need to go to school before we can put them to work. This is very large, though. 360 is a lot. 150 is way more reasonable. It is that one? Cool. Yeah, the helicopters are just fun. Let's just stick with the 150. I think that's fine. I may grow to regret that later on, but we'll just live with our mistakes, I suppose. Alright, now this school doesn't even have a road entrance, so I can kind of put him wherever as long as I have paths that get to him. I do want kids to be able to walk there. It would be nice if they didn't clog up my station too badly. At the moment, I'm thinking housing's mainly going to be over here. So I think we do stick this pretty centrally to that. In fact, I may even go like right here. Back it up from that intersection a little bit so we can get footpaths in easily. There. Alright. Looks like I do... Ooh, I already see... That's angled funny. That looks better. If that's the case, I want to move this. Alright, that was our school. Yeah, that looks way better. Alright, something like that. Cool. That's another road that we can immediately, whenever you get here, start graveling. Make sure everything's turned on. Alright, next up, we do need kindergartens. Kindergartners are a little special. Because it's very little children, they cannot walk to a bus depot and then to kindergarten. They have to kind of be like escorted by an adult. So this needs to be in a walking distance of our housing. So I'm going to hold off until we plan housing, and then we'll add the kindergarten. Orphanages are interesting. If you lose people for whatever reason and they have kids, the kid magically goes somewhere else if you don't have an orphanage. So these are good for pop growth. However, if you don't know loyalty and you have good loyal citizens, this is like a criminal factory. Apparently, the Soviets stereotyped orphans as criminals. I don't know. But yeah, we definitely do not want an orphanage until that's like an advanced thing later. Okay, next up, universities. This is kind of an important decision because the different things we can research, no, not you, come from different universities. So this is hard to read. I don't like this menu. White background is medical, blue background is technical, and I'm going to call that red. I don't know what that is. Red is the party headquarters. So generally, I like to go with technical because I like to get the better buildings. We can do prefab construction rather than brick buildings. That's super important. Also, I can explore for where our resources are on the map right here. And we can unlock like bauxite, that's very profitable, etc. However, because of the situation we're in on this map, I need that distribution, rail distribution. That's down here. That's this one. So that means we need to have a party headquarters to be able to get that kind of research. So I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. Like I said, I always go technical, I don't go headquarters. But we're going to do it this time. And we're going to just build a small party headquarters. Small, he says, and it's still gigantic. Alright, whoops. This one does not need to be overly centrally located. College students can walk despite their complaining. By the hospital might be useful. That might be a good idea. Another thing we can build is we can build halls of residence. These aren't required, but what these will do is students will live here, and so they're right next to the school. One of the ways this game models citizens is they follow the, I guess, socialist idea that a person is a person, aka they're kind of interchangeable. So one worker is as good as another worker. So a highly educated person could be a doctor or they could be an engineer. Those are the same thing. That's how the game models it. You just have education levels. So what happens is you'll get a spread of people going to university and nobody ever finishes their education, which is bad. So if you build a university hall, that will greatly increase the amount of people because they live right next door that go to the university and get finished. So while I don't think this is 100% necessary, I am going to drop one. So we're going to have a hall for students to live in, and we're going to build the party headquarters, which is where we're going to research. Our students will work there. I guess that's like their community service time. Right next door. Alright, in both of those, I am going to want footpaths, and we're going to need gravel footpaths. Something... How's this good? Can I fit one in here? Footpaths can be a little finicky sometimes. I think we will have one coming this way. And then we can connect there, and we can connect there. Alright. All that's going to have to be built. That's going to take a long time. Alright, how are we doing over here? Beautiful. Okay. Step 2. Our distribution place that is not full at the moment. I'm going to add 2 of those really big dumpers. And we're going to have them. I may have to even increase this more. Here. We are going to unload there. Yeah, wait for those dumpers to arrive. And destination, we want this to be very full, so we can fit, yeah, a bajillion tons. So we're actually going to set that one at, we want that one like 90% full. Alright, here come our dumpers. They're going to immediately get there and then have to go refuel. Alright, pick up gravel, dump gravel. Again, you really don't have to necessarily do that, but for my own sanity's sake, I like to have things very precise, so when things go wrong, I can diagnose the problem. Okay, and with that, we got to give them some time to fill up before we start using it, so have to just leave that alone. What are we doing over here? Okay, we're ready to queue up some more asphalt. That one, that one, that one. I accidentally just clicked this. I'm okay with that, though. Everything you see here, basically, or like 99% of it's going to have to be done before we start anyways. So, the order really doesn't matter. Okay, back here. That is our university. Crime and justice, this matters, but it doesn't fully kick in until you're a few thousand citizens in. Those will be things that we build domestically, so we're not going to get those next. Maintenance, we do need technical offices. I'm not going to queue those up here yet, so we're good there. So, that is everything we need for infrastructure, barring power, water, sewage, and housing. And waste. So, next up, let's start in, I think, on the housing, finally. Now, a big consideration for the housing is, how are we going to heat it? And that is a major question. Either we build a small heating plant somewhat close. And the problem with that is we're burning coal here. So this is not good for health at all. Like, it's going to have to be this close. Like, this is barely reaching some of those buildings. That's not very good. Alternatively, we could build the heating plant. This is the big one. And we can pipe... we use hot water to do our heating. So if we built this, like, over here... This may even be a little close. Like, over here somewhere, or maybe back over here somewhere. We could pipe in the hot water. And we can pipe it in about, I think it's a kilometer, before we start having heat loss issues. So if we go back to our measurement tool... Let's say our furthest housing is here. If we built the plant here, plenty of space, way too close. Alright, what about... We built it way over here on the edge of the map. Again, plenty. Okay, what if we built it... Why would I want to build it down here? We can have a bus stop that supplies workers to these places and to our heating. Okay, this is looking better. I think we're going to place it down here. Somewhere in this neighborhood. And then we can have one heat exchanger here, one heat exchanger here, and then one a little bit closer. Actually, hold on. We may build housing on this side. Alright, that's getting a little bit far, so we might need to bring that in there. I just want to leave myself extra space. There's nothing worse than building a heating plant, building a heat exchanger, and being like 2 meters too long. Alright, that's fine. Do I want to stop building houses here? Maybe we bring that in a smidgen closer. So somewhere in this neighborhood. And I think I am going to commit to the large heat exchanger. A big person who plays a lot of workers and resources is a channel called B-Ball Joe. He's very, very good at this game. And he actually was showing in his current season you can get away with a small heat exchanger. I did do that in my test game just to prove it to myself. But I don't think we're going to do that here. Alright, so here... Okay, we're going to need workers to go to all of these places. We had a road go out like that. And, like, let's say like a road like this. We could put it... I'm just looking where I'm going to have a bus depot. This should be plenty... That's plenty close for walking distance. I'll put in a gravel path. That should be fine. So if we have a bus spot right here... Let's go ahead and etch ourselves in just a cheapo. something like that. And then we could put the place right here or right here. And we need the pipes pointing that direction. We may want to have some coal storage here, so that's where that conveyor belt might be important. If that's the case, I would want the storage on that side probably. It would just be a small, so something like that. And then if I wanted the coal storage, I just want to make sure that we can connect. And here's the night. We'll have to see if this is too dark for YouTube. Yeah, that does connect. Just trying to pretty it up a little bit. Like that. Alright, if we wanted to build that, and I don't know if I did or don't need that. This does have internal storage too. Like I said, it's critical that power or that heat does not go out. So very, very, very important that we never have this turn off once we get people here. Alright, if that's the case, we now know for a fact. Let me get my tool properly brought back up. We know for a fact that that is the measure point. Yeah, so we're totally fine. We could do a heat exchangers way out there. This is maybe a smidgen close? I don't know. Hopefully we're not downwind. That's all I can say. Okay, it looks like we have our truck aggregate loading station done. Let's go ahead and get that conveyor belt. Let's make that high priority. Next up, we need you to be a high priority. Just tracing my power. I think we're good. We'll turn on power import. We only pay for what we use, so this doesn't cost me anything. We have voltage here. We have voltage here. We have voltage here. Cool. All we need is this to be done, and then we can start getting our gravel. Well, that and that, really. And then we can start getting our gravel from here. So you are just waiting for workers, actually. And this might be them. Okay, let's also check in. Okay, we've got a lot of workers here. Let's get a second bus. Or maybe we don't get a bus. Maybe we get a couple micros. Okay, that's not a construction office. So this is my last construction office. So if I fill this up, I have to build a construction office before we can do anything else. Is there anything I am missing? We could do some extra bulldozers. I'm good on open holes. I'm good on concrete mixers. I have a paver and a roller. We have road cranes. I don't think so. So I think we get a second bus. Yeah, I think I'm going to commit to that. Bus, we're going to need a second one of those. And I think I am going to grab some micros. 90 kilometers, 90 kilometers. This one has a little more engine power. I think we'll grab 2 of those. And then I'm going to transfer this bus over here and have all the buses in one place. And I'm going to get another road crane. We'll go up to 4. We probably have been wasting a few of these workers that we've been hiring. If there's this many sitting here, I bet. Well, I say that, though. He's only been waiting for 6 hours. Right. I want you to rehome to here. And that shouldn't really change anything. I'm going to tell these guys not to build footpaths. I'm going to let them build roads. I don't like doing that, but we just need to have somebody available to do short pieces. And then over here, I am going to get 1 more road crane. All right. That should be able to use up a lot more of our people. Missing resource gravel. Yep, they're bringing it. We have already hauled in 200 tons of gravel. All right, we're building that conveyor belt. And then this is the only thing we're waiting on. And then this is good to go. Our first thing done. All right, over here does look like we're ready for some more bits and bobs. Oh, and our bus depot finished. Holy moly! I didn't even see that they were working on that. Beautiful. Okay. I won't paint the one-ways and do the signs yet, but yeah, I found this to be pretty good. I wish this angle was a little higher. So they're going to be going around in a circle like this, and they'll easily be able to pull in here without slowing down. And ditto for coming on. If there's no traffic, they'll just have a yield, and they'll be able to zoom into here without slowing down. I found this to be relatively efficient. I don't know if it's the best way or not, but I think it visually looks pretty cool too. Okay, what else do we need? We actually do still need a few things. We need statues, which help increase loyalty. Personal feelings aside, here is a statue of Lennon. I want to squeeze it in here. I do want that footpath there, though. Or do I? We could connect here. We could connect there. Maybe I don't care about this footpath. And if that's the case, we build Comrade there. And he can just have a... Nope, not a dirt road. A dirt path that leads there. Yeah, that's fine. That's not super duper vital. We could build that with our domestic workers. So I think I'm going to just not queue that one. Okay, next up, houses. Unfortunately, all these other buildings that we can see here, I need technology to be able to build. So I only have this guy, those two, and these four. The big one here has 157 workers, but the quality of flats is only 68%. That's kind of like a soft cap to how happy people can be. That's pretty low. Our current happiness will probably hover around 70% if I've done things correctly. So that is just super low. That's below. This one can go up to 87, and it houses 110, so almost as many people. Alternatively, this one is 70%, and it's pretty small. It's got a small footprint. But I think we're going to spam this one. And we'll just have to deal with housing flat plan A or whatever. What's this one called specifically? Flats. So, just like a true Soviet city, we will have 10 copies of the same exact building built next to each other. Alright, I do want to try to make this at least somewhat visually interesting. So we will try to have I don't know, some courtyards or something going on. Alright, so that's 110 workers. 220. $330. Let's get a kindergarten. Did not forget the kiddos. 120, 180, 270. I'm pretty sure that's definitely going to be within long. I kind of think I'm going to just build one big kindergarten. I don't know if I need this guy or if I could go down to the 180. $6.6 tons of steel, 10 tons of steel. Again, it's easier to build big now than need to retrofit. 270 is a lot of kids, though. I'm going to go with this one. I hope I don't come back and regret it. I think I'm going to build it here, and then we'll have more housing on this side. So we'll have housing kind of in the wings around this. Go ahead and get that in there. Okay. That does mean, then, that I don't need to worry about filling up this middle area. Maybe we save room for, a soccer field. That could be kind of cool. So we'll leave some space here in the middle. All right, that is 550 people. That'll be enough to get started once we get going. I am just going to go ahead and plop in... they would like football. We'll plop in a football spot here. We're not going to build this for quite a long time, but just to save the space. All right, next I need footpaths. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Get some more in from this side. And I think I want to just make sure I can get out here. Make sure I can get out there. How am I going to connect this? There. Do want this to connect. That, and that also lets me get out if I need to. I don't like that. I think we will. I'm not going to connect that yet because that'll just add another node I have to work around. You can connect there. That'll connect into him. Okay, I'm relatively okay with that. Now the reason I wanted to play that is now we can go back to waste. I turn right. Thanks for coming in, man. Hope it wasn't too slow. I know, like I said, this is a very slow burn game. It'll get interesting once we get the people in here, but yeah. Definitely making progress. Alright, we need to collect trash, and we can actually do it with these stands that use footpaths. We don't have to use the road connections. Small garbage containers, yeah. And I don't believe that citizens use the large garbage containers. I think these are only for industrial purposes. So if I could get this somewhere... That hits 105. Okay, so I do need to connect that. I want to make sure that I can collect all this trash. Ideally... Here, we'll do this. Oh, maybe... Oh, hold on. Maybe we do that. I want to make sure I can collect all this trash with one... pickup, ideally. Okay, that's fine. And that's fine. So, well... I'm trying to over-optimize here, I think. Let's just do it. Just connect them, so I know that these work. Right. Waste. We want the larger small garbage container spot. Can I fit you? No. Okay, that means it needs to go over here. Oh, that's perfectly fine. I'm watching this place. This is the furthest spot. As long as we can reach there, we're good. Alright. That'll go right there. We'll have to... I'll put probably a dirt path there. That's fine. And that serves all of those places. So that's great. Okay, while I'm thinking about waste, we're also going to have some over here. So, for our shopping center... You do not produce waste? I don't know if I believe that. You've got to produce something. Oh, and we're done with our warehouse already. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and queue you up. And we can start you. Alright, we'll come back with more garbage containers. I do know for the hospital, it will use the larger ones. And I do want to get one in here. It can produce hazardous waste and biological waste, so I really, really do not want that like overflowing or anything. That, and we can just dirt road that. It doesn't need to be fancy for that. Okay, we got some there. Okay, heat exchangers, I think, next. Now that I know where the housing's going to be... heat exchanger. They have new ones that use footpaths, which is rather nice. Okay, we want to point the pipe towards... Whoops. Point the pipe towards where the heat's going to come from, so something like that. Alright, distance-wise... Oh yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so if I build one like here, that's going to be all of this area. Little bit of overlap on each side. So we'll build one here. Actually, we may just build this a little bit closer. So this will be plenty of overlaps. We're not going to have any heating problems. He said very confidently. Do think I want it on this side. Right there. That also reminds me, we have not built a fire station. We need to do that like right now. Because things can already burn down. It does not have to wait. And I want to make sure it's in range of that. I also would love it if they could walk to their work. So I always have firefighters. Okay, that says it's 300 meters. Right there. Footpaths would cut that down a smidgen. Let's not be greedy here. Let's just make sure for sure this is in range. Because I want people to be able to walk to work at the fire department. We'll do that. And I am gonna. This is another one of those ones I immediately want it to be asphalt. We're not even gonna wait. And you are a high priority because I want to get this done. And we do have footpaths right there. So we continue down the road. Here, there, there. All right, let's get this actually fully connected. Okay. All right, that's one heat exchanger. Let's get the other one in. All right, so you reach everything I have currently built. That's perfectly fine. We'll build one over here. I think we'll extend our gravel road. We'll let them build that before we hook this one up. But it's going to be somewhere... Double check again. I want to be very purposeful. This is a very, very important building. Okay, it reaches everything I've already got. I do want to double service buildings to make sure that if we start overloading a heat exchanger... we can pull from 2, so something like right there. And this large place can actually support 3, so we actually could add one down here, or maybe up here. We have some options. And we don't need to have that one... Well, let's let them build that footpath first. Actually, hold on. Are you able to connect? Okay. I want to make sure, because again, deconstructing things is pure pain. I have to have it right the first time at the moment. Alright, speaking of which, we can add footpath, 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 footpath. Now ideally I want to snake a footpath through here. Okay, beautiful. Connect in. A little bit too close. It's fine, it'll definitely connect. There we go. And then we can have you connected. Yeah, we got tons of connections here. Just want to make sure everything will work. We're going to need garbage collection over here. I think we'll put it back a little bit. I think this is going to be more housing. So we'll have another housing block over there. Not going to need that to get started, though. Okay, that all being said, I think we just need to give this a minute to build stuff. It is August. It will snow relatively soon. Let's get a technical service. This is going to be for snow plows. Can't quite fit it there underneath the power pole. Plop it in there. I don't think we have very good snow plows at the beginning. They're pretty slow, which is unfortunate. In fact, we don't even have a choice. We get this one. Alright, that's perfectly fine. That'll be set up and ready to snowplow when it does snow. Thinking about that, I think this road is going to be a permanent road. We have a second here. Let's take out this thing that's breaking up my road. Let's actually gravel this. And we'll just slowly work this one over. How are we doing on filling up? Great. Do we have power? No. What's your problem? Construction not assigned to a construction office. And you have autos. What is your issue? So you're waiting on, let's say, concrete. 3,000 feet. You're definitely in range. You're connected to the road. The road is connected. What is your problem? Construction's missing resource. Yeah, I know you are. Alright, let's see if we can manually assign. Yeah, you are definitely not assigned. And now you are. Don't know what they don't like about that. Alright, that being the case, that means other things are not assigned properly to it either. Let's change this. Let's go in here. Construction office tool. Assign construction office mode. Alright. Cranes, people, mixers, dumpers. Don't need pavers. Do need you. Alright, assign construction mode. All of you guys are now working on that. Alright, they are all assigned. I don't know why that wasn't picking that up as an automatic. That's very strange. If I can manually do it, it should have picked it up automatically. Because we need this so we can start pulling gravel from here. It's basically ready to go. Okay, yep, looking good. Okay, you're delivering stuff. You still need a bit of gravel. Hospital's gonna have to be finished. Yep, build that. Build that. We do need to get a road in here to our meat freezer. Maybe we get a road right here that comes up. Let's do this in dirt first. I don't like putting it right there, though. What could we stick here? We have all the basics, so maybe police... We'll set up our police station there. That's a long ways out from being built, but... police station... 40 versus 10. I think I will queue a full-sized one. Let's actually build it this way. And then I can build that road I was talking about here. Then you can connect over here. Yeah, something like that. I don't hate that. And I think if we're going to go through all that, it might as well... How is that 1%? I don't know about that. There. And then... I'm not going to connect here, but it will later. Connect there. Alright, we don't have to have this up and running to start, but I probably will want it. That'll just make meat not an issue for us. Alright, seeing things getting delivered. I see new groundworks getting started. Working on the cinema. Let's go ahead and assign... I mean, everything over here has to be done sooner or later, so sure, do it. Those two. We are going to need you. Really would like those to get finished. I don't want to break up this path yet again to queue this. Alright, that also means I need to queue up pipes. That's another one that takes forever. Alright, and due to testing people have done, never use the above ground heating pipes. You lose too much heat. It's not worth it at all, ever. Always use the underground. So we will grab from there, switch to underground view, straight to there. That will totally work. The only thing I'm thinking is I could put this a little deeper to stay out of the way of other piping I need to do. I think I will do that if it'll let me. Pull that back. Yeah, let's see if we can actually make this go a little deeper. So, I believe that's Q and E. Yep, there we go. Alright, so this is where it wants, which is basically ground level. 1 tab down, 2 down. I think that's fine. 2 down. And we'll zoom you over here. And then connect up to there. Alright. We're going to pay a little bit more to put that deep, but I just have a feeling I'm going to be running water pipes or sewage pipes back and forth. And that's just preventative headache right there. Now that you have a name, street, the statue overseeing the Linden Street, the classic name exists in every Soviet city. Yeah, it's kind of funny how every city or every country has, like, that street. You know, like, in America we have, like, Washington Street. Like, every city has a Washington Street. Or, I don't know, there's plenty of other ones. Yeah, the famous Lenin roundabout here, which actually turned out to look pretty decent. Sometimes this middle piece gets blocked up and it looks horrific. Can we plant a tree in there even? I want like a birch tree. Spruce. Oh, interesting. They added some more trees for different biomes. Okay, I'm not seeing the birch. Alright, we'll do a Acesia. Not quite sure I would say that. Is that enough room to fit? Can we fit one? No, we can't. Sad. Very sad. Alright, if that's the case... Oh, we did have a beech tree. Well... You know, they always plant them in, like, straight-ish rows. A little bit of shade there. There's no footpaths on this side either. These actually take time to grow, so I want to put them in now. I hate it when they plant trees like this, in just straight lines. Looks so unnatural. We'll come back and add some more later once those grow in, see what that looks like. Alright, our shopping center is done. Beautiful. We might actually get a year 2. We might actually be able to do it. Oh, and I see lights. I see lights. We have wattage. Okay. That means gravel trucks. I want you for gravel only to source from here. That means we only have the 2 big dumpers that have to go back and forth to here. That also means... Do I have a free bulldozer? No. When I find my bulldozer free, I'm going to gravel the entrance here. Kind of thinking we might also need some more snow plows. Just preventative, knowing how miserable winter's going to be. Let's grab another technical office. We'll plop one over here. Grab that. Okay. Okay, that's the basics of heat. That is another thing that's going to have to be finished. Let's actually get that planned out. So over here... do we let this... Oops. Do we curve back into the main thing, or do we keep going? And that's visually kind of interesting. Yeah, we'll do that. I think I will have a cut over somewhere in there, though. I'm not going to connect that yet. I think the cutover is going to be right here at the plant. So something like that. There we go. Alright, you are another building that has to get completed. I do think I'm going to give that... What would have to come in here? Emergency vehicles? I'm not gonna do it yet. I may regret that later. We are gonna need footpaths over here. And we're gonna have one footpath that just leads directly. You get dropped off, you walk to work. No shenanigans there. Build that. Build that. That'll have to be done before people can come in. Alright, you. Are we done paving in front of you? I want you at high priority. I should have built this first. I normally build this as the first building. I got distracted. Because at any moment we could have a fire. And it will literally just burn down our building. And we'll have to build a demolition office to clean it up. So that would be horrific. So please, please, please build the fire station. Thank you very much. Yeah, lots and lots of gravel getting delivered. There's my bulldozer working. What are you waiting on? Just people. How are we doing on using up our people? We are using them all up. Perfect. So we're getting our money's worth out of everybody. Only brought in 19. There is a not unlimited amount. There's only so many people who are willing to come help us with our glorious republic. So, that's unfortunate. That is one of the big bonuses. If we were near another custom house... Yeah, this is way too far. We could have buses pick people up from 2 different ones. But we do not. We only have the one. So we're limited greatly by that. Hence why it's so important that we get our people in ASAP. And then we won't have to worry about that anymore. September. By the way, I wasn't double checking chat. When it went to nighttime, like it's going to do here in a second, I think, was that too hard to see? I know they lightened it up from what it used to be at night. It used to be like pitch black. If anyone has an opinion on that, I'd be interested. Because day-night has gameplay effects, I do like it on. But if nobody can see, then it's pointless. Well, it's on YouTube. Thank you very much. I'm glad they did that. Like, the really dark nights looked super cool. When you have your big city and you've got your skyscrapers on at night, it looks so cool. But it was... You basically couldn't do any planning at night. Like, you couldn't see anything. It was very realistic. Alright, getting some more deliveries. I could start bringing some stuff in here. In fact, we could bring some mechanical parts. I'm not going to store them here forever, but we could bring them in. Would that change anything, though? Because we are just grabbing them from right here. Maybe that doesn't change anything. We could start bringing in food or clothes, booze, electronics, but it's all stuff we'd have to pay for and just leave it sitting, so I don't think I'm going to. We shouldn't see too much inflation this early. Ooh, there's an epidemic somewhere. Ugh. We have 0 people, so we are infinitely social distanced. Don't worry about it. Alright, so we are really waiting on these workers at this point, more than anything else. Okay, I'm glad you're working on that, but this shouldn't be high priority. Oh, it just doesn't have any materials here. Okay, that road is built. Can I set this up? I want 2... I may change my mind on this. I've never tried this. I want the fire station to have priority. So if a fire truck's trying to get out, he gets to go, and they have to yield. Let's try that. I'm not sure this will work this way, though. No, I do want to save changes. Maybe it won't let me do that. No, it doesn't like that, unfortunately. Unfortunate. Oh, our hospital's ready. Very nice. Alright, I'm immediately going to say no workers. And actually, we actually have our bus platform. We could change things up here a little bit. That might be far more efficient. Let's do that. Instead of delivering workers here, is that what you are? Yes. We are instead, let's pause this, take this stop, remove it. Yeah, Okay, fine. Add our main bus station. Remove that one. Over here, you are only going to unload the same people and force them to get out. And then once we've used up the current crop, I will change these guys' pickup location. And in fact, we can actually move this construction place. We'll temporarily put it over here, and then we'll have a very short drive to pick up workers. Having them travel further won't matter because we're not getting full loads of 40 anyways. So that'll actually help this get a little higher. We'll get full loads. And we are empty. Alright. You be home to here. Just need to catch all my buses now. I guess we could do it this way. You have people on you. You don't. You come here. Where are you? Alright. Since we have to wait for this guy anyways, maybe we just check him out. Where are we traveling to? Unfinished heating pipeline. Okay. Getting started on the heat. Sometimes order matters, but at the moment, I have to have everything done anyways, so I kind of just letting them do whatever they want, as long as they're not being stupid and doing things that like can't be worked on or something. Alright, that means I can rehome you to the depot, which means we can blow up this dirt field, and we're going to move it. This is our free construction. I think I'm going to just plop it right. Let's do it over here, because I might build houses here sooner rather than later. There. And then you are going to pick up people from here. And then you guys rehome to here. And then we just need to do the same thing to each one of these. So move here. Move here. Move here. Cool. So these people, they have, just to make sure, we're picking people up from the, oh, it has a name already. Where's my name tag? How do I find that? There's a name tag somewhere on our city. I want to change it. It's, where is that? I know that's a thing I can change. I think I have to find the physical location. The extravagant roundabout in the middle of a sprawling construction site out of materials is really immersive. I mean, to be fair though, like they've built some new commercial land use area out kind of where I live. That's what you do. Like you have to get this all paved and whatnot. So I don't think this is horrific. And look, we're already using it. I also could put in the roundabout. And by that I mean I could paint the one-way streets. I don't think I want to do that yet. We're not going to have traffic problems here, so... Where did you just deliver people? Yeah, nobody should be coming here. Shouldn't be building that, no. Where did he go? I gotta keep an eye on that. This also shortens our run here a little bit, so hopefully we'll save a little bit of fuel. Speaking of fuel, we probably want a second fuel thing somewhere out in this direction. Let's connect you. Is that horrific? That is horrific. Let's try that again. That's closer. Maybe a fuel thing here? If I build it close enough to power, we could actually put in a real gas station. Like, it could be all the way over here. That might be useful. Yeah, think about that for a second. It could go here. Could fit in here. Do I need to have anything else in here? I'm going to need a water pump, maybe. Although I learned some lessons in my test game about doing that. We need water for the cloth factory. Lessons were learned, I'll just say that for now. Yeah, having some fuel out this direction doesn't feel bad. Yeah, let's put one in. Don't know if I need this or not really, but the fact that I have early power, this would be a lot faster to refuel than that other one. I guess conversely, though, this is a much straighter shot. Oh, I could reach here. I don't think that's going to cause problems with our pipes. They should be underground, so it shouldn't be a problem. Could fit it there. What's going to come out this direction? We're going to have coal delivery. At the beginning, we might have trucks moving fabric around or something. We're going to have buses come out this direction. This is going to be kind of a main arterial, because this is our only border connection. So if we have another city, it may be out this direction, and so this would, yeah, this is going to be an artery. I think this is the spot, right here. And because of that, let's go gravel. We'll just gravel that immediately. And I do think I'm okay with having you built. I'm not going to shoot for winter 1 having people here. Not going to happen. But I will shoot for year 2. I don't think I'm going to need year 3 to do it. Not assigned... Okay, what is going on? I think it's because I'm having to upgrade these roads first, is why these aren't getting auto-searched. But I feel like it should be grabbing them once the road's done. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Upgrading roads like this is a pain, so better to rip that band-aid off now and just be done with it. Alright, getting started on some housing. Alright. Alright, we still need to do power. We need to bring power into the city. We need to bring water, and we need sewage. That's it. So, to wit, what are we going to need for sewage? I do think I like the idea of trying to poop pit over here. To do that, though, I'm going to need a free excavator to push the land down. And all of our excavators are busy at the moment. So, but I think if we lower terrain here, I can connect up to that water. You could do it technically anywhere, but I don't know. I find that a little... Yeah. So I think we will do that here. If we check our topography... Most of our city is up here at this level, and we can actually check levels by going to here. The tooltip on my mouse is telling me the height of where my mouse is at. So like here we're at 6.4 meters, and over here we're at 0. So apparently this lake is at sea level somehow. But even over here we're at 2, we're at 1. So anything over here should be able to flow via gravity. I would absolutely love it if that's the case. Putting in sewage pumps sucks. They're expensive, they use power. Yeah, they suck. But if I have to, I have to. I mean, poop gotta flow. That means this is uphill. So on this side, get my tape back, we're at 7.5 meters, or we could go even higher. I'm thinking water goes over here, because that will give us more head pressure. Head pressure is how much pressure's on the water, which will pressurize it all the way into the system. And that just means I have to pump less. So if we built it up here, like we'll have 2 wells, they'll feed into a treatment plant, into a water tower, and then we take that into town. I will fully admit, water and sewage are my hardest bits. I have successfully got them to work, but with frustration. In my test game, You need to provide water where workers are going to work, so we're going to need water over here. You don't have to use drinking water when you're doing production of fabric. You only need to have it 80, I think it's 84% pure. So I used to just build a little well here and give the water for the industrial use, and then I would truck in water for the workers. Well, the workers polluted enough that the water quality went down, and it was no longer good enough to make fabric. So that was a humongous bad. So as much as it sucks to use treated drinking water for production, I think we have to over here. So I say all of that because this area right here is at 10 meters. That's very high. So we will definitely have to pump. I don't want to build on this cliff face. Although we could maybe build the water tower up here. Water towers will also add their own height. So this one here, does it tell me how tall you are? No. I think this guy is 50 meters tall. I'm not 100% sure about that. But that gives us an extra 50 meters of elevation, essentially, for water pressure purposes. Yeah, I kind of like that idea, actually. Although, the problem with that is, then I have to pipe it all this distance to get to town. So maybe something over here makes more sense. So we have some wells out here. They bring water into a treatment facility, into a water tower, and then we bring the main lines in. Another hot tip is pipes don't magically cross each other, like in a lot of games. So that's why I made the heating pipe that I built a little bit lower, so we have a little bit less trouble getting above it with water pipes. But sewage and water tend to need to be at the same place. Turns out people drink water and remove water. So if we have the water come in from the left in lines, and we try not to do a lot of horizontal movement, then we can have the poo come out in lines and not do a lot of horizontal movement. And then never the two shall meet. And that will save me all kinds of headaches later. Man, one of my favorite things about this game is when your roads start getting busy. It just looks so cool. I love in realism mode that you actually have to transport your materials. That is a thing I love in games. I love games where you have to physically move your resources around, because it means logistics are important. And if we're talking about like 4X games or strategy games with combat, then you can raid people's supply lines. And that, I mean, that is like that's like War 101. Like, kill the other guy, not your own guy, and cut off supplies. So the fact that most games don't do that is always disappointing to me. And this is just going to be a giant puzzle, and everything we do is going to add more puzzle pieces here. Never actually looked at this shopping center. That's kind of interesting. It's like a 2-story, and you have to walk on the outside to get to the shops. Man, that just like 60s brutalist concrete construction. Man, look at that. There's actually some pretty decent detail on this model. You can see in the windows that there's like doors, like into different rooms. Oh, our trees are growing already a little bit. Alright, are we working on this? Yes, kind of. We need cranes and we need people. Okay, what are you guys doing that I'm not getting people there? We're working on footpaths. That's fine and all, but I really need you to work on this. Oh, I know what happened. I bet you they got unselected when I moved it. Yep, that's what happened. Alright, that should fix that problem. We should probably see the next busload of people go there. Getting started on our school. I could plan some more housing, but we're not going to build it. I mean, what I have planned is basically what we need, minus water sewage. So I'm just going to kind of let them work. Not bad, not bad. Is there a Siberia map? Yes, there is, with prison camps. Well, when we put people in jail, we can actually take them to different places to work. I tend to put my jail out towards the heating plant, and I make them supply workers to the heating plant. This causes a lot of pollution, but you need heat in your jail. So I tend to build... Let's find it. Yeah, we'll build the big one, and it needs heat, so it needs to be somewhat close to this. So our jail will probably end up, like, right here. And then I'll have a prison van that picks up minimum security prisoners, and then they can help work here. And if that's full, I'll have them probably help out in the clothing factory. We're all about reform in this republic. We'll fix them. Alright, and my reminder alarm just went off. I do have an appointment this afternoon, unfortunately, so I think I'm going to try to let this fire station finish, and then we will call that victory right there. So this won't take us too long. I really wish our cranes were here, though. Where are you guys all at? Oh, you're working on the heating plant. All 4 of you. Yeah, that's fine, I suppose. Another thing we might consider, somebody brought this up at the beginning, we might actually build an actual construction place, the big one. And I don't hate that idea. This could fit 24 vehicles, so almost as much as all of our cheapy free stuff. And with power, we can actually have people refuel here, rather than having to go to a gas station, even though we do have one close by here. I don't hate that idea at all. And even when we're done with all of our construction, like we're done with this city, we have to do maintenance on our buildings. So like right here, we already have 1% wear and tear. Just over time, you know, things get broken, need to be fixed, things wear out, need to be repainted. So we'll need to leave a maintenance crew here for all time. Plus, having a construction thing here means I can use that to branch out to other places. So I don't hate the location. Don't hate that location. So somewhere in here, it's near our gravel, so at least that's something that it's going to use nearby. I may actually do that. Grab you. Is there any place that looks good? I don't know if this looks good, but I could tie into this intersection here. Oh no, there's the first snow! There's a long neck on this thing. I guess that's fine. Alternatively, the only problem with right here is that's a long ways away from the gravel, but I guess c'est la vie on that. Actually, we're going to have a lot of trucks that have to go here. This is the road loading station with the open storage. So it might make more sense to have them enter this intersection. And then they just cross the road, which I don't love them crossing a major intersection, but needs must. I think we do that. And despite my previous frustration with it, I am going to gravel that, and we'll gravel all this too. This is going to be a major hub here at some point. Also, you need a road connection, don't you? I'm sure you do. That is an open storage. Oh, I have it right here. Okay, I already built it. This is a terrible road. I guess only emergency vehicles need to get in here, though, so that's not actually as bad as I kind of thought it was going to be. We could bring a road in from this side, but we'd cross the tracks. I really don't like that. These tracks are less of a pain, so I think we're going to go that way. Again, this is only really for emergency vehicles. So if we get through there... Cross there... to there. And then you need to connect. There. All right. Cool. How we doing? We're getting there. Maybe I do remove one of those cranes. That's just so inefficient. I hate that. If I send you home... No, I don't want that button. Send to construction. Go here, please. You guys were right. This was a perfectly fine place to do. I know. I changed my priorities on you guys. All right, we'll send 2 over here. We'd already be done if those had been here. So, man, those big winners. Is there a hotkey? I want to take a clean screenshot for next stream's thumbnail. Anyone know if there's a hotkey to hide UI? Oh my goodness. I may have to look at this at another time. Zoom, zoom, free camera, rotate buildings. Reading menus on stream is a perfect way to get yourself frustrated. I'm not going to do it on stream. Oh, and then I think I saw it right at the end. Toggle GUI G. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, let's see if we can find ourselves a good shot. You guys can get in on the ground floor of a thumbnail. I think we finished the... Yeah, it's going to be right there. I think we finished the firehouse, and then that will be our screenshot. All right, it's going to be right here. How we doing? 4 people. 4 people working on our fire station. 1 guy. Game does re-education camps, sort of. I kind of appreciate their approach. The subject matter is a little bit of a tender point, right? Like, it is a little bit of a tender point, and I think they did it very neutrally and very respectfully. Like, you know, this is history, but I don't think we need it. Doesn't it's a game that doesn't need armies and stuff. I could see maybe adding like production, like you build tanks or you build weapons to sell. I could see that being something. Oh, look how fast they build with those cranes there. Yeah, it's beautiful. So much faster. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Vant. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it'll be a while. It literally just came out in 1.0 today. So if you're waiting on that, if there's not a day 1 sale, you'll be waiting a while. But it's a cool game. It's a really cool game. Hopefully people will come back a couple times, and you guys will get to see when things really get going. Like right now, we're not producing anything. So we're just kind of watching buildings be built. But once we have citizens in here, and we're actually using them to... We're going to start with clothing, because that's where I'm comfortable with building. But I would love to get that, and then I think farming maybe up next. We can use the crops to build our own fabric, and we could maybe put in a food factory or a booze factory. Those are pretty easy productions that we could start with. But all those kind of need rail, so we might also need to just get the rail started. And excuse me, there it is. All right, can I just print screen? I don't know if that actually saved. Let me jump over to OBS. OBS, save me a beautiful screenshot, please. There we go. And try to get back to the proper game screen and turn our UI on. There it is. All right. That is Soviet Republic, or Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Thank you so much for the people who came out and just chilled with me. I've been looking forward to this game for a really long time. I don't know if this is going to be particularly popular. This is not my main game like some people, so they have a much larger interested group, but I quite enjoy it. So I do think we will visit this a couple times at least in the next week or two, and at least maybe get at least the first city done, and then I'll reevaluate if people are enjoying it or not. But yeah, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic, cool game. For anyone who's interested, tomorrow's Dominion stream is going to be 2 hours earlier. I'm going to shoot for a 4 o'clock time instead of a 6 o'clock time. I will have that posted today so people can kind of see that in local time for themselves. Let's go ahead and we'll save our game. We don't need to save as. Save our game. Yep. All right, and that's going to be it. All right, thank you again, everyone, for coming out. I had a good time. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I hope I did at least an okay job of showing this off. All right, builders, have a good week and go build something cool. I'll talk to you on stream.